Mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Am I the only one not muted? I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, Jay's muted.
I'm muted.
There it is. Hey, everybody. Sorry.
Hey-o.
No, I don't know what that was. The video played multiple times. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon on a Saturday for a very special. We're going to reveal that one time Meg J went to a bike shop. No, not a very special episode, but a special episode nonetheless on Saturday because I wanted to get together with these guys in the midst of their Kickstarter. I was able to hang out with this guy, Mike, Eternian royalty, before the Kickstarter launch for the MOTUNIVERSE fan convention. And everybody knows Mega J. Mega J's been here several times, but I want to get them both here today in the middle of that Kickstarter to kind of just celebrate just where they've been able to take this thing in such a short time, and also just pick their brains a little bit more about the whole process. And if we have some time, we'll do some ephemera. So how are you guys doing?
Good.
Fantastic.
Quite the run. It keeps going. I mean, we have quite the ways to go, and so many things in the news right now. I mean, how about those Jays? I mean, I'm sorry, Brick.
This is what. So that was for Kenzo. Kenzo, this is your one sports talk. So yeah, I was born and raised in LA, and the only reason I knew anything about this is because Toying Around, Kevin, I think, was there and had a reel, and he was like, "What did I just witness?"
Game
and I was
one,
like, "Oh, that's the Dodgers."
It is the Dodgers, yeah, and wow, I am jealous. My cousin was there too, actually. So it was crazy looking at it from their perspective. It was nuts. Yeah, and what's crazy is that I got a bunch of followers who are basically just messaging me saying, "Oh, Jay, be prepared for a sweep." I'm like, yeah, you never know, and and this happens. So
well, here you go.
I'm gonna say I can't stand the Dodgers. I'm a Giants fan, so I can't stand the Dodgers.
Man, so you're a Giants fan. That's fascinating. You gave up on the Padres, huh? You're just like,
well, I mean, I was born and raised in San Jose, so I grew up with the Giants. I've been down here pretty much my adult life. I do root for the Padres if they're not playing the Giants, but if it comes down to it, I'm like, sorry, Giants.
Okay, well, I was born and raised in LA. I actually did go to a couple Dodger games as a kid. I got married right outside of Dodger Stadium in this place called Elysian Park, so not too far from there. So there's that, and then I moved up here to the Bay in San Francisco, and that's it. I don't care about any of it. So there you go, Kenzo. There's your sports talk. We did a little good maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and he's not even here to witness it. So there you go. And you know what?
If he shows up, I'm gonna have to go. So
I'm gonna indulge the chat as well. If chat really wants to bring it, we'll talk. So for example, Rod in his prime saying, "Hey, what's up, folks?" And he wants everybody to know. He thinks this is important. Completely changing the culture of the Brick Something News. That he's a Yankees fan and he's rooting for the Dodgers, rooting for the American team.
Typical Yankees fan. Like, the Yankees are out. Well, let me go to the next biggest.
Yep. He's going to get me to say something I don't normally say. USA. So there you go. That was awkward. And what's up, dude? Welcome to the show. But no, we're actually here to talk about Masters of the Universe and some toy stuff and some IP stuff, because Masters of the Universe is definitely something that has been a huge part of my childhood and has really, like, as far as like my modern toy collecting, kind of was the start of it. Was I kind of intentionally built the modern toys that I'm collecting now kind of around the scale of Classics and Masterverse. Like I really wanted to get sort of those larger figures, right? And it's all kind of fantasy, sword and sorcery with some sci-fi in it, which is basically Masters of the Universe. So, and I'm so happy that you guys are doing what you're doing. I love the whole story. Mikey, like I said, was here before and kind of broke down how it all started. So we don't have to go so much over the whole history, but as folks probably know, you guys are building towards this massive convention on May 23rd and 24th, Memorial Day weekend, 2026, called MOTUNIVERSE. And so just in general, can I ask like what that's like right now? I know like there's this convention to be planned, but what are the things you're doing like right now as the Kickstarter's out, like day to day? How's this, the chaos of this venture going?
It's a lot of like asking and waiting. If I'm being honest, I was just telling Jay, like, I'm reaching out to people that I never thought I'd contact. And it's exciting, but at the same time, I was telling him, I'm checking my inbox, like probably at least, I don't know, 10 to 15 times an hour, like just out of control. Like, are they going to reply yet? Are they going to reply yet? You know, it's excitement, you know, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. We're going back and, you know, forth with trying to get the rooms settled right now, working with the event partner at the hotel, trying to get a room rate settled in.
The Torrance Marriott.
That's the next, exactly. Yep. So that's kind of the next big step there. We're looking to hopefully have that locked in for you guys next week. And that's kind of it. It's a lot of reaching out to guests. And today I was up at a place in Carlsbad, California called Ninja Exchange. Started handing out flyers, talking to vendors, seeing if they'd be interested in posting the flyer, just, you know, for anyone that's interested. Mostly went into vendors that sold, whether it was modern Master Universe, like Masterverse or Origins, or even a couple places that had some vintage stuff. And, you know, everyone seemed pretty stoked about it. They were like, wow, this is really cool. Yeah, we'll post it. So
nice.
Yeah, it's just getting the awareness out there right now.
Of course. How about you, Jay? You know, you're stumping, I know.
Well, you know, for me, I'm just, I'll be honest with you. The last week, I hate to do this to you, Brick, but my brother is a huge Jays fan. So the problem is that, like, this last week, okay, he's been absolutely gone bonkers. Like, he really has. He got really invested. He wore a hole in my floor, pacing back and forth because and actually is following the series. The Jays brought it down to Game 7, and it was a nail biter. And then what happened is yesterday they just blew it out of the water. So there's that. Okay, and that'll hopefully be the last time we mention it. But but other than that, I mean, there's been a ton of toy news. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things have been happening. You know, with some collectibles, with some of the other toy lines that are happening right now. And, you know, what the heck is going on with Tron? I really want to dive deep into that a little later. Not right now.
This guy. Yeah.
I mean, I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think about like you know, the timing of it. What's going on? Did you guys watch the? I know Mike watched the new movie. I know that.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
You did. Yep. You did watch the new movie. Okay.
I did. I saw it Thursday night, first week, baby.
So there's the thing, right? My brother watched it too, and he said it was okay, right?
Yeah.
He said
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a little different, and they have to shoehorn Legacy in there somewhere, but you know, it was its thing, right? So I'm curious. Anyway,
let's do this then. Let's do this then, Jay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Jay basically needs a break. He's been talking too much Motu lately. So let's do it. Let's
get into it.
Hold on a second. My sharing is getting really weird. I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing or what. Even when we started it did that.
So
okay,
StreamYard go. StreamYard changed their StreamYard changed how they do things. You can't just click on a screen anymore and it switches to it. You actually have to unload the screen and load a new screen. Okay. It's a weird little thing that they're doing right now. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me frame this. So Mega J Retro loves to talk toy news, but this poor guy is in the middle of building out this MOTUNIVERSE convention. And so he's been on every stream. Like he's just moving from here to there. They're creating new shows with AJ from He-Mania.com called He-Maniacs so they can just talk about this thing. So I get it. They're like, okay, can we please talk about something else? Okay, so we will. After we say hello to the kind folks that have decided to join us on a Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's say hello. First and foremost, what's up, Ray? Good to see you, Ray Black. Speaking of changing things up, man, YouTube and your Ray Black 1938. But at least now we know that Ray Black was born in 1938. Okay, and then just kidding. E. McNeil, what's going on, man? Apparently he was born in the year 5844 BCE. What's up, E? Good to see you. Rodimus, we know, is in 1982 and is really big into baseball. We've got this guy who, let me ask you, Berserk, you a Dodgers fan? Because I know you're down there in the LA area. Let us know. And how are you feeling today? I'm just going to talk about sports all day. They set the tone.
I didn't bring it up.
World Series is going on, you know.
Charlie Squared is here. What's going on, Charlie? Thanks for joining us. We've got Ryan Veg and Tech. Is that Veg and Tech? Ryan, are you a vegan? Let me know the deal. Veg and Tech would be a kind of a cool Masters of the Universe character.
I think it's Vengtech. I think the
okay. Yeah, and I know these names are a little bit funky because they're not people's usual handles. But that would be an interesting Motu character. What would that be? He'd be like a carrot with laser guns. That'd be kind of rad. Larry's Geeky World. What's going on, Larry? Good to see you. I know Larry's ramping up, and a lot of my friends are ramping up to go to Legion's Con. So that's going to be super exciting. Rodimus is back. See? Okay, cool. Oh, wait. Okay, I was just checking for sports references. But no, he says, my big three is Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Masters of the Universe. And Jay knows this as he's a big fan of Mega J Retro. Yeah, three. You know, and so what I notice about that Rodimus Prime, and I'm sure Mega J noticed this too, is that I don't see Tron in there, but we'll keep going. So this guy, as I said, he Ronald Berserk grew up not too far from me. So Torrance, California is real close to where we grew up. So yes, man, Torrance, come out. May 23rd, 24th. Come on out, man.
If you're familiar with where PowerCon was held at that same hotel back in the day.
Yep. Sorry, Jay, bad host. I'm putting you back on the screen. Hide my face. Meredith Vartuli is here. What's going on? Trot is dead in the. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. You got me started, Jay. We'll go. But real quick, what's your favorite pasta, guys? Go.
What favorite pasta?
Ronald wants to change up the pace.
Probably. Oh man. Probably like a fettuccine, like a chicken fettuccine.
Good old Alfredo. Okay. How about you, Mega J?
I'm going to go with lasagna. I love lasagna.
Oh, you took mine. Yes. Even as a kid, that was always my favorite, but I don't have it enough. And it takes a lot of work to do. But yeah, my mom made good lasagna. Mossman Sean is here. What's going on, Mossman? Good to see you. I love that. Are there different Mossmen with just names like Mossman Sam, Mossman Bill, Moss Woman?
You know,
Lana.
We'd have to start bringing up Instagram. Let's start searching. Yeah, I think Mossman Sean actually just started following me not too long ago. The name looks familiar, so if he has the same Instagram handle, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
Mossman, let us know. Are you an old school Mossman, so you're flocked? Are you new school? let us know how you roll. Mitchell Lawrence is here. This costs too much. I'll wait for the Black Tron Ares figures. Great. So we're going to talk Tron. There you go. Yeah, he knows sports. Got it.
Rocks.
Okay, here you go. I was once a vegan, but now I'm a begon. See, he speaks.
Okay, I know what that's a movie. That's a movie reference.
Oh, is it? Because he speaks in Motu. That's like Motu language right there.
It is actually the dash. The dash makes some sense.
Sean Forrester is here. How is this Tron set? $260 in a HasLab. It's 5 figures and 2 bikes. Nothing that can't be at retail. Got it. The retail. Mossman Sean is definitely flocked. And nice. And Meredith is agreeing. They look like a snap together model. Okay. Tron. Let's you want to start? Let's start micro. Let's just go with the idea of a HasLab for this amount of stuff. Forget it, Tron. Forget it's whatever. Since they started it, how do you feel about a HasLab coming with this sort of amount of stuff of 5 3.75s, 1/18 scale figures, and 2 vehicles? Does that just alone take the Tron away of it?
It also comes with the grid.
Oh,
and it comes with the back. And it comes with the back.
Okay, and that's all plastic, right? This is not
fair.
Old school cardboard background.
No, it's
a
light.
It's a light up that glows.
It's a light up grid. It's a light up grid.
Light up.
Okay. So there's glowing. There's a background. Sorry, it's just that when I see this, and I haven't actually honestly checked it out at all because I saw 3.75. I'm like, that's rad. It's just not my thing. But like this strikes me of old school Kenner, early Star Wars play sets with background stuff, which has its beautiful nostalgic place. Okay. So that alone, to be fair, all that stuff, what are you all thinking? Is this a $275 collectible?
Not even close. Not even close. I'm sorry.
Okay. If you were to name your price for this kind of thing, let's say they came out with a Masters of the Universe 3.75 line with 2 Road Rippers, one green and one something else.
Ooh, they had the minis. We had the Masters of the Universe minis, and there was a Road Ripper, and there. So,
what do you think? Okay. What would you pay? I'm just trying to figure out, like, what do people feel comfortable in 2025 paying for something like this?
So, Mike and I already did the math on this.
Okay.
So we already, like, being generous. We were thinking like $35 a figure, which is insane. Like that is well above Super 7 price. That's
we looked at Star Wars Vintage, right? So Hasbro sells Star Wars Vintage, same kind of
vintage collection. Yep.
Yeah, same kind of scale. And they were averaging around $17 to $20 typically.
Yeah, but the special figures are 22. The special figures were as high as 22. So
that's when we bumped it up. We said, okay, even if it's $25 a figure and you're getting 5, right? So that's $125. The bikes, even if they're
we were like $40.
Okay, $40 each for bikes. So we're at what is that?
160. 165.
We're at 165.
Yeah.
Okay.
The grid.
So how much is this freaking grid? $100? Come on.
Yeah. The articulation is adequate. They have this cool little neck joint that actually allows them to telescope their head a full 90 degrees, so they can actually look forward in the bike. Obviously it's brand new articulation for 3.75, and they are now introducing the 375. So this is the first in the introduction of the 375. You can see in the corner there, Brick, right there in the lower left hand corner.
Yeah, this thing. Yeah, I got it. 375 for Hasbro, going old school.
Yeah. So does this indicate that these will be the first in a set of 375 releases? So are we going to go back to O-Ring? Are we going to go back to Vintage Collection? Is Indiana Jones going to become a thing again? You know what I mean? Like these are all the 375s that came back in the day. I
just feel like this was the bad franchise to start this whole line off with. Like, what were they like? You start off with Indiana Jones. You start off with Star Wars. You don't start off with Tron.
Yeah, but the thing is that,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brick. Go ahead.
Well, no. I mean, I was just gonna say, I hear all that. I also think that it's weird. It's like there is some risk to that, right? One, Star Wars already has 375, so there's that. So that could have been the start. 2, I think it's kind of risk, like Indiana Jones at this point, given that they've attempted it. I could see why they wouldn't necessarily jump into 375 with that. Would they do that with what else is G.I. Joe? Go back? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, they can't actually. Well, they probably can't because they've licensed that out to Super 7 to do. Right?
That hasn't stopped anybody before.
Well, no, but Hasbro. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's probably how they do business. Like, just that's the way it's been done. So I'm just thinking, okay, we have an opportunity here. Here's Disney. It's on Disney's dime. They have a marketing budget. They're going to put some, like They're going to put some juice behind it. We're going to end up doing the 6-inch stuff anyways. Let's see if we can turn it into a thing. So I'm thinking maybe that's where it's coming from. And putting it behind a HasLab, I think, is really funny.
I think
it's a funny choice.
The thing is
Disney's
buck is definitely behind this. Like they're the pay. One's paying. Just the fact that it's a HasLab is kind of silly.
Okay. So with that's why I started asking you guys, like, just on the face of it. And I'm totally agree with you in terms of the money. So he's saying I'm awfully democratic, mainly maybe democratic's the word, maybe being diplomatic. Maybe we all know the choice of Tron blows. I'll get to the actual IP in a second, but here's the deal. If I'm looking at this, I agree with you on the face of it. The money, it's kind of wild. It's a lot of money. I think I don't know if this was like sometimes there are losses, like you're going to write them off, it's a shot in the dark. They don't know. I'm sure they've done some level of research, but I don't know what research would have told them that this is a thing to do. I'm with you guys. It doesn't at all by any conventional wisdom or just what I've been paying attention to the toy space or the nerd space. It doesn't seem like this is a thing to do right now. That said,
so
I will say
Forster,
it's the Tron.
If you have that chat, Sean Forster, that's my thoughts exactly as well. If you bring up that comment about overestimating.
This one, the 260? No.
The latest one, overestimating the draw. And the reason, I feel they dropped this right now, the reason is because of the new movie. And that new movie wasn't building the buzz.
Yeah. And I guess on that note, I don't think they're that dense to realize that it wasn't building the buzz, right? I mean, like we're in an age right now where even like people were trepidatious about a new DC movie in Superman, and it did well. But even then, people were like, Masters of the Universe, who you guys are familiar with, like there's a movie coming out this year. Yeah. There's not amongst us who are looking for it. Yeah. Amongst everybody else, it barely, honestly, a blip on the radar. So I think they're smart enough. I think they're smart enough to realize that, and I think they're probably trying to do some trying to reactivate existing fans, right? And I think that this is what that is. It's like, okay, we can't just. They didn't even jump out with Tron Ares stuff. There's no Tron Ares toys.
There's no Tron, and see, this is the thing that really kind of
go for it, Jay.
This kind of perplexes me. So a couple of things. Yeah, this is a HasLab, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are HasLabs usually, associated with? Right? They're usually for and by their own motto. These are dream projects. Now, not to say that Tron shouldn't have a project like this, but the timing is unusual. There's a new movie coming out. Obviously, that's the tie-in to a certain degree, but it's the wrong toy line. Right. There's no anniversary on this. You could argue this is like the 34th anniversary or something like that. It's some weird anniversary number. I think it's like 42nd, 43rd.
I was gonna say, I want to say it came out 83 or 80 somewhere.
It was 82. So I think it's on the same line.
So 44.
Yeah. So it's 44. 43rd. Right. They're missing a year by one. They're ahead of this thing by 1 year. For a 45, right? So what I'm saying is that's unusual to begin with. Then HasLabs are usually highlighted with some sort of stretch goal, right?
Yeah,
there are no details on this.
Yep.
There's nothing to get excited about for something else to unlock. And then the choice of characters is unique because you have all the pivotal characters. You've got Flynn, you've got Tron, you've got Yori. You've got Sarek, but
and Dude in Red.
You're missing somebody very pivotal, in my opinion. Where's Ram? Ram died for Tron. Okay, Ram is the program that sacrificed himself for the users. Okay, where the heck is he? He didn't even show up. It's just a random enemy program.
Right.
Okay. So that to me feels like where are the choices coming from this? The 2 light cycles are nice. I like those. Okay. But again, Ram was one of the guys with the light cycles, right? It was 3 light cycles. The other thing is, I think there's a lot of missed opportunities here. They could have had the tank. Yeah, exactly. He's just a program. They could have had the tank, which was in the beginning, which Flynn used to destroy the Space Invader.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I pause you on that? On that note, since you're right there, so there's a picture here, a photo here. Was this actually that pilot from that beginning?
It could
in that tank.
They blocked out his face, right? So that could be Ram. That could be Ram, but it's not. It's a program, and he's a red program, meaning he's
red. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because Ram is blue, right? Ram is one of the captured programs.
He's one of their prisoners. Yeah.
So yeah, again, interesting choices, right?
Yep.
And as I said, I think that a really cool stretch goal would have been the freaking tank, which was never ever been created. The tank has never been created. The Space Invader. Yeah, the Space Invader has never been created. I know it's got a name. Somebody's probably going to.
Recognizer. He just said it. Recognizer.
Yeah, the Recognizer. Exactly. The Recognizer has never been made. Those would have been really cool stretch goals. You know what I mean? And it's not like they would have been gigantic. This is 3.75 inch. They would have been maybe this big. You know what I mean? It would have been like G.I. Joe vehicles. So there's a lot of things, a lot of missed opportunities here for die-hard Tron fans. You know what I mean? And where are the bits and the bytes? Where are the bits and the bytes? They don't even have bits and bytes. Like those two showed up in Legacy, right? Flynn was playing around with the bits and the bytes. He puts them on his shelf, right? So a lot of missed opportunities in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say the whole Tron thing is weird. So now let's get to the Tron of it. Actually, no. Before we do that, let's talk objectively about what's here. But first, let me say hello to the folks who've dropped in. Good to see you, Mr. Ryan Clark. And so he was thinking what I was thinking. He's trying to entice you guys. What if this was MOTU and it came with 2 attack tracks? But it's not.
You had me on attack track, bro. You had me on attack track.
Yeah. Dump everything, Meredith says, but the 5 figures and sell them in the store. And so, yes, there are these ideas. And the reality is all of this is, 1, the renders. 2, everything that we're seeing here is in the grid. It doesn't exist in real life, and it probably won't if this thing doesn't, it probably won't. So it really is a marketing exercise. They develop some ideas. There's some level of sculpting, right? And they rendered them, which sucks. I don't want to belittle people's work. They worked hard, and I'm sure this is someone's passion project, and they put a lot of work into it. But it's not as if they can just sort of reconfigure the offer at this point. But hello, Toy Monkey Customs.
Wait a second on that one.
Okay. You think they can?
It's not that they can't reconfigure it, but they need to do what they did with the Sky Striker. Cobra Commander's got to swoop in. He's got to basically say this, and they actually said it in the freaking HasLab. They said this is a disaster. The are screwing everything up. Let's bring in some more stuff that we can give you. And they gave them four freaking figures on top of what they offered.
Okay. I hear you, but let's remember a couple of things. Let's just go back. You guys already said it, and we know. Someone said that Tron is dead in the grid. It's not. Tron was never, ever accepted, or what's the word? Like, it didn't have that response immediately to the first movie. The first movie didn't hit the way it was supposed to. It kind of was relatively niche. It then had a ride at Disneyland, or at least was represented on the People Mover, and just existed there for the longest time. And some of us loved it, but very few people even knew what it was. You just kind of rode in this thing, and this light cycle sequence came up. So it kind of was always a little bit niche. And then they released it 15 years ago as Tron Legacy, and they brought it back, and they did the whole 9. They got a dude who was very visually astute to direct and run the thing, music video guy, brought in Daft Punk, and it became this cool thing. There's a lot of buzz, but it didn't quite hit in the same way. And then by all reports, this movie made it to the finish line mainly because there was someone attached to it who is attached to Masters of the Universe, and that's Jared Leto, that I know a lot of people will roll their eyes or whatever, but truly this was something that he pushed for, by all accounts, right? This was his passion project. And let's be real, if there wasn't somebody who was attached to it that had some kind of name, they probably wouldn't have even entertained the idea of continuing it. So for all intent and purpose, it's a pretty niche IP. They're not going to have a Cobra Commander swoop in. You have a Cobra Commander swoop in because G.I. Joe has had a tried and tested following that has bought toys even in its dark ages, has continued to buy it.
After their failures of movies.
And that's just not true that for Tron. So I'm with you on not understanding where this came from. But if I just look at the toys, here's me being diplomatic, and I'm not being diplomatic because this is truly the first time I've really spent time with it, even though please best believe that I love all the Tron movies. I have the Tron vinyl hanging on my wall. I was the first day. I told you, I don't know if we said this before or after the stream started. I saw it first day, Thursday night.
Yep.
No one wanted to go with me. I was like, I'm going by myself. And so I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. We can talk a little bit about the movie, but I did the same with Tron Legacy, and I tried to get people to go, and they were like, nah, I'm not really into it. So if I'm just going to be objective, though, about these toys, they look pretty good, at least renders wise. That's 3.75. I got to say, like, before hearing you telling me about like the articulation and stuff, I started looking at this. I was like, oh, that's cool. They can hit that pose. I don't think there's much to that vehicle at all. Someone said it earlier. It's basically like 2 snap-on pieces. It's really nothing. But look at that pose for a little 375. And there's a lot of personality in the rendered sculpt. And again, these are just renders.
Yeah, but the photography at the beginning is real. They
is it?
So what happens is what happens is about 2 weeks after this, right? Mm-hmm. When it launched, they were at MCM, and they were also at New York, and they brought the 3.75 figures for display, right? So in that time, they've actually taken real photographs. These are real photographs here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
These totally.
Yeah.
Well, that said, I mean, they do look like cool toys. The problem is this property. I don't think, even for toy collectors, like they just weren't a thing that people were like clamoring for. The Diamond Selects, you can get them relatively cheap. I love them. I have a couple of those Diamond Selects, and they totally hit those nostalgic feels. And again, they're larger figures, so they look good with my classics, Masterverse, Mythic Legions, AWOC, whatever. They fit. And if I would say, like, if these were bigger and they looked like this, I would consider them. Same goes for those Tron Legacy ones that are coming out. But those are like Hasbro scale. They're like G.I. Joe size, and they tend to run a little smaller than the MOTU stuff. But on the face of it, what do you guys think? Just on the face of the visual, like what you're seeing as toys, do they look like appealing toys to you?
If I saw them at Ross for $6, yes.
If you saw them for $10, if you saw them for $15,
if I saw them for $15, no, I wouldn't collect on them.
So here's some insights on this, which is crazy. Okay. The weekend before these launched, because they launched at New York Comic Con. The weekend before, my brother and I actually watched the freaking movie because we were getting ready for Tron Ares, right? Okay. So the plan was to watch. The plan was to watch the first one, the second one, and then the third one. We actually did not get to watch the second one, but we watched the first one, and it really was an incredible journey into going back in the day, and really brought back some weird memories about going to the library and picking these up for free. It was a weird experience, because there is that part of your childhood that you sort of remember when computer graphics were just not that great. Yep. Like they were just pretty much proof of concepts for in a lot of ways, just hyper colors, hyper realistic. And what Tron was trying to do back then.
Can I pause you on that real quick? Because you said back in the day when CGI wasn't that great. I also want to say when CGI wasn't a thing. This truly was correct. The beginning of it. So keep going. Sorry.
It was, and it's funny because the computers which they rendered these on, apparently they only had, like, I think it was a maximum of like 28K or 256K RAM. Like, it's incredible they actually finished what they actually finished. It was actually,
and a lot of it wasn't even CG, right? So a lot of it was they output real rough stuff, and some things they actually did some animation tricks, hand animation stuff on it. And
yeah, for sure.
But it was a marvel in that way, production wise. It was
it was cutting edge, and it cost a ton of money to produce for Disney. But they were trying to convey to people who just had no idea what computers were about, how computers worked, what the terminology, end of line, right? Like those were things that at the time, Linux and like all these. Like we're used to we're used to disk operating system. We're used to Windows. We're used to Mac OS. There was no such thing back then. Right. You had like 5 to like 20, maybe even 30 different systems that were developed by Xerox, by Microsoft, by so many different companies. And this was just at the time, if you were a complete nerd, you knew exactly what they were saying. But you had to be able to convey that to an audience that had no idea what was going on. And it was great.
You hit the nail on the head right there, buddy. It was niche upon niche upon niche. And then they tried to sell it to mass audiences. And guess what? It didn't work.
But it was ahead of its time. It really was. And I did appreciate that. So when we were watching this the night before, I was like, and I said at the time, I was like, this was really cool trying to like watching what people had thought of as computers back then. And then literally a week, like 4 days later, they dropped this. And I was like, okay, what is going on? That is just so strange. Right. But what do I think of these as toys? I think they're neat. I do think they're neat.
I'm with you.
I like the additions. Like I said, the telescoping neck. I think that's a really great thing because again, you want to be able to get them into those light cycles. I like the light cycles. I like the fact that they explode like they did in the movie. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're doing essentially. When you break them apart, they're exploding, right? So I like all those things. I really do like the grid. Here's the problem. I know how that grid is made. Like I can order 50 of them at Kijiji. You know what I mean? Like there are guys on Etsy who make this grid.
Sure.
Mean? So my other thing is the first original releases for Tron Legacy, right? They lit up. You press the button and they had a little thing in their chest that actually glowed. Right? So I think again, missed opportunities here. I think that if these
step
guys
backwards almost.
Yeah. If these guys actually had a small switch and all the little lines on them glowed like they did in the movie, dude, I think that would have been, especially for the price point right now, I think that would have been
use glow in the dark paint.
that too. There's another idea.
UV paint.
At least there's an idea, right? But there are a lot of missed opportunities here. This doesn't look as well thought out to me as it probably should have been. I think that's actually what it really comes down to.
It does. And I'm sure there's some logic behind it. I think it's a shame because I think it ultimately just sours people's taste. Like, we're already seeing it. And I'm not at all trying to be a hater. And people might think I'm being too nice, but it's like, no, you know what? I'm at this point where like, I don't want to keep seeing these corporations trying to sort of mine IP that like, it's just not ready. It's not. And as a result, it just creates this negative sense in people's about it, right? It just leaves a negative taste in people's mouths about the IP, which then just makes it harder for them to maybe ever want to take the risk to bring them back. And I say that because really we are here to talk about Masters of the Universe. And I think a lot of that is in play too, right? We've seen that. We've seen over the years and even more recently with Origins and then Masterverse and then the CGI toys. And then the CGI show, when we heard the different responses to that, or Revelation, and now we've got this movie coming. And part of the trick with these corporations handling these classic IPs that a lot of people love is that they are now having to balance. They're like the keepers of the world and trying to balance. How do we try to keep breathing new life into this thing and trying to make it an evergreen thing that we can forever make money on, but not piss people off along the way who are already like prone to being angry and defending their thing. Right. And so maybe like their thinking is like you guys, well, what if we just have a moment where we try and get people's attention and say, hey, remember this thing and let's celebrate. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work with Tron. I will say for me, and maybe the other like niche nerds that are into it, I really enjoyed Tron Ares. And really, folks, if you at all like Tron and you just want to maybe see it have some life, check it out. I'm trying not to spoil it. Mikey knows what I'm talking about, but because he's seen it, it actually is kind of a love letter to all three films and the cartoons. Like it really tries its best to embrace all of it and actually remind you of all of it. Unfortunately, I just don't think it was ever poised to get the attention, to get people's seats, butts and seats, to be able to find out if, to see what was created. So can we talk about Motu now, guys?
Well,
we're 40 minutes of Tron here.
I do just want to wrap up this last little bit.
And that guy up there. It's that guy. It's Queen J. Okay, keep going. Go ahead. Tron.
No, this will be the last bit. Only because this is the strangest thing about this is, number one, the price point is a very strange number. Like where did that number even come from? $260. That alone is a barrier to entry that really is killing it. And it's evident in the number of backers that we have. How many backers are we at today? It's been 2 weeks. How many backers do we have today?
We are now at 1,060 backers. 1060.
That's insane.
I think MOTUNIVERSE is close to
that. A G.I. Joe HasLab of the same nature. Even the Sky Striker fighting against 2 different properties was already halfway to its goal around this time. All right.
Sure.
That is quite telling as to the tone deaf nature of this. And I'm speaking, not Brick. Okay, like this is me just being a little bit critical about this, because I agree with Brick. This is one of those things which will make corporations gun shy about resurrecting properties, which honestly might have a decent fan base behind them. But the problem is that and here's the other last part, and we're going to move on. They are cannibalizing their own market by releasing this alongside with a 6-inch legacy brand, and then not supporting this entire property with its own set line for Ares. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's exactly that. It's just like, wait, we're supposed to be excited because there's a new movie. I mean, I'm just going to spoil it because it seems like no one's going to go watch it. You end up in the original grid. Sorry, guys, but you didn't go see it, so it's too bad because Tron's probably dead.
It's almost out of theaters. Actually, I went to go look, and there's not many theaters playing it.
No, are you serious? I want to see it. Are you serious?
Well, sorry, I spoiled it for you, and it's your fault.
No, I don't care about the I'm just talking about. It's going to go out of theaters pretty soon. That would be terrible.
Yeah, man, it's ready to go. But you do end up there. It's really awesome, and then there's other nods to other stuff, but at the end of the day, it just didn't work. Maybe when it hits Disney Plus, maybe it'll find a new life. But unfortunately, this is one of those HasLabs that is just.
I'm going to volunteer something though. Here. I have a funny feeling these will not disappear. I have a funny feeling. Okay,
they're going to come back.
No. That the 5 characters, just like who was it that said it? It was she said it. What was her name again? Oh yeah, Meredith. Meredith said, right?
Meredith on the chat. Sorry, my bad.
Take the 5 figures, put them in stores. I have mark my words, okay? Mark my words. Today, what is today? Today is October 25th, 2025. All right, mark my words. These will be an exclusive at the Disney parks in 2026. Mark my words. Mark my words about this.
Okay. Exclusive Disney Parks collection Tron. Yes. Which makes sense. That's the other thing we didn't say, but there's a Disney, like there's 2 new there's Tron rides, one in Shanghai and one in Florida. Like it's really wild, and it's Tron Legacy, but they have a Tron Ares skin on it too. So it's like they're trying. It's not for the lack of trying. Yeah. Okay. I will say a couple of things, and then we'll move over. But let me first say, honor, like, there's a bunch of folks here who are here, and I hate not saying hi to folks. So welcome to the Brick Something News. Welcome to this, it's like having people at your house and you don't say hello. So let me just say, I did say hi to Mr. Ryan Clark, who is no stranger here, but hello. Saturday morning fan is asking, does everybody remember Otto?
Yes, I remember Otto, man.
That was remember Tron? Let's put it on TV.
It was on Tron on TV. Exactly. I was going to say the exact same thing as Tron on TV.
And it was wasn't it a Lamborghini? I want to say it was like a Countach.
I think it was a Probe.
Was it?
I think it was a Probe. In my opinion, I don't think it was a Lambo. They didn't have the money for a Lambo. There's no way.
Oh. Okay. Fair. Let's see. Other ideas about this. They should have added the bits in the MCP. Totally, man. Can you imagine a really cool master control program? If you really like the master control program and you're really nostalgic for that stuff, You know what you all should do? Go watch Tron Ares. All right. G.I. Joe Cobra 6 Delta 17 is saying those speed cycles are not very well made at all. They're barely made. Let's be honest. A little, like I think someone else said it, it's 2 shelves. So here we go. This is the reality of the world we're living in. As a millennial, I didn't even know that they had individual names like Ram. Yep. And Ram was not a red shirt. So I think that he was a little bit. Yeah, he was a blue shirt. It was a little confusing in the conversation. Yeah, nice toy line. 43 years later. Yeah, awkward.
A lot of people actually think that Jeff Bridges is Tron, and it's like, no, he's not.
Yeah, he is not. Ryan Vegan Tech or Vegan Tech or whatever it is. I'm so sorry. It's also missing the red light cycle, and it should have the tank and the Space Invader thing. Yeah, I totally hear that. Agreed. Other folks are saying, I wanted a Ghostbuster Fire Hall, not the vintage one, but the Playmobil one. That one looked awesome. So one design like that. Noted. Let's see. Give us something we want, not something no one asked for. And I totally get that. I get that feeling. I personally tend to I don't know. I just somewhere out there. No, you know what? I don't even have to say that. I was gonna say someone out there, someone wants this. You know who wants this? The 1,060 people who put their money down.
Yes. So I was on.
Yeah, so 1,060 people wanted it, so they asked for it. Maybe
I was on the Toy Daddies, and Chewy, he wants it. He's one of those guys. Absolutely.
There you go. No chewing, no chewing. Let's see. It could be worse. They could spread out all the figures as stretch goals. Oh my God, it's so true. And then try to up the backers. It could have been worse. Yeah,
that is definitely the way.
Oh damn! Can you imagine a scale Tron arcade machine? So like in there.
There you
maybe
go.
the whole thing comes in a box.
That makes sense. Yeah. See that's the unique kind of stuff. The Pedro, call Hasbro and tell them to put you on the payroll. That's a great idea. My God.
You know, here's my pitch for how this ends up good for Tron. Hasbro gives up on the IP. They license it to a good indie toy maker, like say Spiro Toys, and they make dope toys, and people love them and they buy them. Boom! Take me to that world. Mauro Bastiani, his performance was awesome. But Bastianini, who's that? I'm curious. Were you talking about maybe Jared Leto? I don't know.
Maybe Jared Leto. Yeah, it could have been Jared Leto. I mean,
I would agree with him that he was really good and really understated. Again, I'm going to try and get people to go because people aren't. But like, there's a bit of a Frankenstein element to it. The conversations around AI right now, I think, are kind of embedded in there. If you feel like they would have completely, if you're like, man, why did they completely ditch Legacy? I wanted to see that continued. You might don't assume that they don't at all address it. So I don't know. There's some good things there. Let's see. Mr. Ryan Clark says, I definitely would have gone to see the movie with you, Brick, if we lived anywhere remotely near each other. Good. Because man, it makes me sad when these IP that we love, no one goes to, like Motu. Man, there better be droves of people going to those premiere nights and those go check it out, please. I think it's good for all of us. Lots of stuff here. I'm going to just try and honor folks. Let's see. Why not make the Star Wars Blade Runner? That would be a cool.
That is. Are you talking about the connection between Han Solo and Blade Runner? But
I'm not sure. Maybe the Blockade Runner is probably what they're
Blockade Runner.
Yes. There's an apostrophe between the L and the A, and Ock is supposed to be in there. G Ryan 460 says Hasbro is off on their Project Dream. I got it. Yes, they're off on their HasLab Project Dream projects. They can't be retail releases. They are failing. They are lazy. I'm getting tired of this junk. Okay, I get it. I will just say, man, it's a corporation. It's capitalism, and I agree with you. However, they're just playing with this crowdfunding thing. It's just their way of doing marketing, trying to find ways to reactivate people to buy toys. And retail, they're struggling with. And so they're like, well, let's try this other thing. And then now this isn't quite working. So what are they doing? How about made to order, right? Yep. That's the whole made to order is this whole other option. And if you really try and stop and think about what made to order is, it's basically how most indie toys get made. You pre-order, you wait, they come. So that's what they're doing. The Toy Monkey Custom says the costumes in the original movie were so much better than the ones in Legacy and Ares.
I don't know about that.
Here you go. Yes, it was in fact Blockade Runner. Noted. TC, toys are meant to be played with at that price. It's not worth it. Can I ask you guys about price? How much did you say these were each? $35? Is that what it worked out to be? Or 25?
If we did the math being objective and saying like they were 35 a piece plus $50 per each bike plus, you know,
okay.
It was around $200, and then you've got to factor in the grid, right?
Sure. Let me ask you guys, how raise your hand if you're on the screen right now and you pay $25. Did you say how much was each figure? 25? 30. Sorry.
$35.
Okay, raise your hand if you've paid for a $35 figure in the last month.
Absolutely. That's not even
last month. Oh, damn it!
That's not even a question. That's not even a question.
I mean,
okay,
come on now.
So I'm just saying, like, so I think they recognize that's so that might, and of course they're tiny. But how much did you say the Star Wars vintage figures were?
Anywhere from 18 to 22.
Okay. Just this is the world we are living in.
E-Man is much different than
look. We can easily make the argument. We can easily make the argument on the same track that Mattel is doing a $22 figure for 2000X, and Mondo is doing a $95 figure for 2000X. But it's two completely different things, and they are both both have markets for them. Both of them are and there's a market for this. There is, but it's that delicate balance, as you said, right? The only way Hasbro thought that they could do this was through a HasLab, and unfortunately, it's not hitting the market that they were expecting. I think that's right. The other thing is, I'm not seeing much marketing on this. They're not supporting this very well. I think that's really the problem. There's no Toy Tubers talking about this, other than the fact of making fun of it. To be honest with you, at this point, right? There's no super fans out there for this problem.
And damn it, Jay, I was trying to not make fun of it, and here you go. You brought me into the fray. No, I agree with you. It's not a thing. If they hit the right scale, and I would have been in. I would have seriously considered them. Even those Tron Legacy figures, if they just scale them a little bit bigger for me, so they don't look so small next to the rest of my figures, I might have considered them. Okay, let's close out Tron. Let me say, Saturday Morning Fan, thank you very much for exonerating me. You are right. Tron was in the original grid right in the trailer. So I spoiled nothing. Correct. So Thanos, damn it, your own damn self. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. And let's say $259. You know what that makes me think? It makes me think, man, if you put $260 towards this thing and it doesn't fund, you have money to back MOTUNIVERSE. That's what makes me think. So let's talk about MOTUNIVERSE, guys. I know you needed your break from talking about MOTUNIVERSE, but break's over. Let's celebrate this thing. You guys launched this, what's it been now? 2 weeks?
It's coming up. It's coming up for 2 weeks now. Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay.
Wednesday will be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. As of 2 weeks, guys, what were you asking for? You're like, man, we really need $5,000 to get the space. That's right. That was originally what the goal was.
The first goal was $5,000.
And look where you're at now. 2 weeks later, you've far exceeded that goal, which is awesome. You've gotten now to more than doubled your goal. You're at 12,557, 90 backers, 20 days left to go. 20 days is still a long time, folks. That means 20 days for all of us here to follow what's going to be on the banner right now, because we have the power. That's what these guys are saying, right? It's like, hey, yo, the fans have the power. We need to put this thing together, but actually we need everybody's help who's watching this here and on the replay. Like, even if you can't back, you're like, I can't make it to Southern California on May 23rd and 24th. All good. You know, what's really helpful for these things is to let people know it exists and let people know that this dude had a dream. Mega J was like, I can help facilitate that dream. Let's join forces. They put together a team of like wild Eternians, and they put this, we're here now. 12,557. How are you guys feeling about that? Is that like, that's exciting? That's more than you expected? Like, where are you at? Sitting at 20 days to go. 12,557.
Fun fact. 12,500 is exactly 50% of where we want to be for the $25,000 final stretch goal.
Yep.
So we are 50% to our final goal.
Yep.
So that is incredible. That it really, and what it really boils down to, I think, for and Mike said this too. So I don't want to speak for Mike, but he has mentioned in the past. I think we're very humbled at the fact that the community has really stepped up and resonated with this. Right? They want this to happen. We want this to happen.
Yep.
And it really just it's been so encouraging, and it's crazy too, because every time we go live, I think two out of three times people have been pledging at the same time. So it's been great. You know what I mean? Like there's a moment that we have which I can show a little later where we actually saw the numbers climb to the point of the actual funding. And it was an incredible moment. It was. We lost our minds. It was.
Say, Brick, I think you were there for the last one, right? You were on with us.
I was there, as you guys know, and it's my stupid bragging rights, but I'll take it where I can get it. I actually originally backed for a smaller package because I was just like, I want to just back it, and I'll look at them later. And then I was looking at them later, and you guys were hovering close to hitting your goal. And I was like, oh wait, there's this founders thing. That's rad. So I changed my pledge. And I realized, I did the math in my head. I was like, oh, crap. If I hit this now, I'm going to push it over to the 5,000. I took that screenshot and sent it to you guys. So I was there for that. And then I was also there watching when you doubled that, I think. So, but yes, I was there, and I'm a proud supporter of MOTUNIVERSE. One, these guys are awesome. Like, I've known these guys for a little bit. I love what they do. I love what they bring to fandom. But aside from that, like, I want to go. Like, this is huge for me because part of this is because PowerCon used to be in Southern California, but for a bunch of reasons, like, it just didn't make sense for them to do it anymore. And they moved out to Ohio. And I know that was part of where you were at. You're like, man, I miss it. And so now that it's back in Southern California, that's actually something I can do and head down there on a weekend and still be back for work to finish up my school year. And like, I'm super excited about that. So thank you for that, and I'm happy to back it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah. So we are super stoked about this, and the founders packages have been more than we expected, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like we if you want to share my screen, actually, Brick, I've got a quick thing.
Let's do it
to let everybody know, because this number's not actually accurate anymore.
Let my dog out real quick. He's over here.
Do it. Yep.
Yeah. Little Thor needs to go out. This graphic says 37 left. That is a lie. We are down to 30 packages left now. They have been flying off the shelves. We cannot keep these things in stock right now, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's all thanks to the generosity and the support from the community. And is it any wonder, Brick? I mean, like, when you saw this package, after you saw it, like, because you purchased the VIP package thinking that was a good deal. But really, when you look at the founders package, there's just so much memorabilia there that signifies that, you are a founding member of this event. And, we really do want to recognize that. I mean, you get a founders members pin, right, which you can wear around the convention center. And every time a staff member is going to see you, we will salute you, because, we want you to know that we are so, grateful for your assistance. This is unique to the founder members packages. There are regular pins that will be available, but this one will only be available to the 100. We're calling them the 100 founders because that's exactly what you guys are. You are, the founding members of MOTUNIVERSE. It's going to come with a wonderful, and I got to get this right because I've been corrected multiple times. It's a founders medallion. Now, this is in recognition and thanks for your support of MOTUNIVERSE and becoming a founding member. And this thing is gigantic. This thing is 50 millimeters large. It is huge coin. It is the John Wick coin of MOTUNIVERSE. And this, of course, is the Champions of Nefertiti coin, but it is a very similar style. So this is something that you can. It will become an heirloom. It will become a symbol of your house as a member of the MOTUNIVERSE family. So this is definitely a wonderful collectible, and it's not a 3D print. It is, in fact, a real coin. Like, it's made of metal. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful collectible. On the front, we'll say founding members, medallion in recognition and thanks, MOTUNIVERSE 2026, the very first MOTUNIVERSE.
And I just want to highlight, as you've been pointing out, big on the bottom, it says proposed artwork. This is all still stuff that's in flux. They're working on it. And the teacher and me couldn't help but notice the typo in the last one. So don't worry, we're going to correct all of it. It's going to be good.
I will tell you right now that I've seen some of the proposed artwork, and you guys are going to be stoked. Like, again, Jay and I are fans. You know, we want you guys to have some really cool stuff, and I'm really happy with the direction we're headed in on this thing.
Yeah. So spelling notwithstanding, because I'm horrible at that. This is going to be a great collectible, and it will be perfect, as Mike likes to say. It will be perfection when it's finally done. When it's finally done, we have a lot of eyes looking at it now. This was actually only when we were first starting out. We also have a founding members shirt, which again, proposed artwork, subject to change. So this is just an example, but this one will be unique to the founding members only, and recognition and thanks. And of course, the VIP badge, which allows you early access to the show, at least 1 hour ahead. It'll allow you early access and priority access to guests and activities. It also allows you access to all after-hours events. Brick, we got a karaoke. You and I are gonna hit it large. That Pinoy gene.
Fun fact: I was just karaokeing last night, man. So yes, and I do it every Fridays in my classroom with students. But
that is so cool, man.
Yes, it is a thing. So I will gladly jump in on some of that stuff.
Dude,
Let's
you
go.
and me, we're gonna have the touch, bro. We're gonna.
We got the touch. No, you know what? Hold on. Let's pause. Time out. I'm gonna interrupt you, Jay. I know you're in a flow, but 2 reasons. One, you've got the touch, sir, and you have a message, a super chat from Ace. What's up, Ramen Toy? Sending the 2898 from Singapore. Kudos to Mega J. There you go. You got the touch, sir. You got the touch. For the tireless live streams promoting the MOTUNIVERSE, I'm grateful to be given an opportunity to be one of the founding members. Hell yeah, you and me, Ace.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Ace.
Thank you.
See us in May 2026. What a time to celebrate MOTU. No season desist, Mattel. Yes, and let's remember to come back to this, because the fact that Ramen Toy will be there and a bunch of other cool folks will be there that honestly owe a lot to Masters of the Universe, and the way it's sort of that it's contributed to toy making, period, whether it was in the 80s or in the mid 2000s or to now. Masters of the Universe IP has had this really interesting history of really pushing toys forward, getting us to a place where we have awesome new companies, indies, folks like Ramen making toys. So I'm super excited about that part. Let's make sure we talk about that before the end of the stream.
Yeah. So one of the very exciting things about this, let me just finish off.
Yeah, finish off the VIPs.
The last VIP section, the Founders section. The last piece of the puzzle in the Founders package is, of course, the certificate of recognition for founding members. It doesn't necessarily look like this, but this is an idea. This is in recognition and thanks for your support of becoming a founding member of MOTUNIVERSE. And again, this is for the 100. We're calling them the 100, and you guys are going to be very special. And of course, we will immortalize you, not only on MOTUNIVERSE.com, MOTUNIVERSECon.com, and not only in the hallowed halls of Castle Grayskull within MOTUNIVERSE, but you will also be immortalized on KeyMania.com, as they have also said that they would put up a founders list, provided that's what you want. If you want an alias, please let us know. But sure. Yes, we will definitely 100% put up your name and immortalize it as one of the ancients of the MOTUNIVERSE world. So we are very, very excited.
Wait, you saying I'm old?
The ancients are everlasting, my friend. They never age. They are the ancients. By the ancients. They are the ancients.
No, I will just say, was that the last one for the
that was the last one. That's also, I'll just really recap really quick. So once again, it is the medallion, the Founders and Members pin, the MOTUNIVERSE t-shirt, and this is only for $150, and you get all of this great stuff. The VIP pass, and of course, the founding members plaque. And may I say, that we have had a lot of people tell us that, and literally in the when they're actually registering, they're saying, "Hey, I can't make it, but I just want to support the event." That's basically what they're saying. So I want to be a founding member, and this is the way to do that. Like this is actually why they're doing it. So
yeah.
I
actually, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say, if you go that route, like, please know you're more than welcome to transfer your pass to someone that can go, that you may know, or a friend. We don't want that just to go to waste. But everything swag wise that Jay just mentioned will be in your name, and we'll send it to you.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, and I decided to jump in there once I was like, oh, this is one. It's definitely a good deal, and you definitely get all these really cool things. But you know, 150, like it's a lot of money. I totally get that. As we established, you're saving 250 because you're not spending it on the Tron HasLab. That leaves you with $100 to go towards travel, and then get all this stuff. But just in general, like you guys know, I show a lot of Kickstarters on here. And to be clear, like some people have said, oh, you're always just showing us all these Kickstarters and you don't really like these things or what. Like, no, I don't show them all. And that's not a diss to the ones that I don't show. But it is true that, like, I want to spend my time on a Sunday and now a Saturday talking about stuff that I enjoy. So, like, when I bring people on here to talk about stuff, it's because I genuinely think it's cool and I want to talk about it. And so in this case, yeah, let me support this because I'm going anyways. It's like I want to help out in however I can, but all that stuff, man, that's really cool. I get my shirt, the idea that, like, I didn't even know about the medallion and didn't really think about it, but as you've been talking about it, Jay, like, I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like, I generally am not the person who's like, put my name on a plaque. But like for this nerdy thing, it does feel kind of cool to be like, oh man, like I'm gonna be part of the first MOTUNIVERSE, and they're like in a real geeky way celebrating these people who throw down, and I think that's really cool. Like I actually have come to terms with the idea, like, oh, that's a really great way to show appreciation, show folks' contribution, and I highly encourage anybody else who's here. Consider that $150 thing if you can, get it together, because they are limited. You got 30 left.
30 left.
Yes. Yep.
And if we do the math on that 30 times 150, right? That's another $4,500 towards, like, yep. If we can get those, that's huge. And then we'll see where else we can go. But you're inching close to like 20,000 as essentially capital to start off this project, right?
Correct.
And so,
yeah,
go ahead.
So, Mike, go ahead. Mike.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, we can go through the stretch goals, but ideally, once we hit over that 20,000 mark, is really where we can have like the kind of con where we feel like, okay, now we've got a good solid base, and we can start reaching out to some bigger names, and get some travel accommodations, because right. These people want that kind of stuff. Flying people in and it's not cheap, and that yep. kind of holding rooms typically. So once we get into that kind of price range, to be able to have the venue just kind of paid for and have some cash to reach out to some big names. And then, we want to have fun with it too. We were talking about, I think it's a 20K stretch goal. We want to do like streaming, some streams, whether that's like keeping one of the rooms for the night to have a movie night in and stream the 87 movie, or, Secret of the Sword or something, have a little panel talking some commentary or something like that. Or there's an AMC movie theater across the street. If we're able to rent one of those out, that would be really fun. And have it
show Tron Ares.
Right? Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, yeah. All of those, like, that's what I mean. Like, that's the kinds of the idea that a super fan is going to get other super fans together is now like engaging us to contribute to this thing, to like help build it. And that it's not the sky's the limit. Funds are a reality, but like, it's up to you guys to decide what we want to see. And some of the ideas that you've put together for what will be at this thing is pretty, like, they're exciting. So you just mentioned, like, what if we all watched some of these classic shows, movies, commercials, whatever. And then like you have people talk about it like that seems really fun with a bunch of like-minded Motu fans. So on that note, Perfect J, could you just give us a quick glimpse of the kinds of things you're looking to do?
Sure. This is going to be the celebration for Master Universe in 2026. I mentioned this multiple times over.
Yeah.
In so much that 2026 will be the most that Master Universe has been in the public consciousness in decades. I mean, like the reality is that Master Universe was huge in the 80s, right? The toy line was the top of the world. People were talking about it. It was in the Macy's parade. You know what I mean? Things like that. And then it probably hit its peak once the movie came out, and then it started going downhill, right? That's just the trajectory of IPs over the years. And then it slowly floated around, had a couple more shows, multiple different toy lines. And then, it was pretty much quiet for a while until the Four Horsemen literally brought it back from the depths of Despondos and basically, brought it back as Master Universe Classics. But prior to that, 2000X was the big deal for the Four Horsemen, right? 2000X was really the pivotal moment where a lot more people were introduced to it, new fans, young fans, and it was a shame because it just kept bouncing around from different television stations. Nobody could really find it on a regular basis, and the toys kind of suffered that way because it was hard to really, get that fan base going. Yeah. But the ones who did, gravitate towards it, they are diehard fans, and that's exactly what we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate the Master Universe from 1982 to 2026, including, by the way, the black sheep of the family, New Adventures. Come on,
I was gonna say
the New Adventures fans. Come on, we know you exist. I'm Pixel Dan. Pixel Dan's a wonderful New Adventures fan. You know what I mean? Sagittar. Who remembers Sagittar? Mike, do you remember Sagittar?
Sadly, yes.
Come on,
now you know. Now you
I
know
love the fun, freaky dudes like Sagittar. I love every single one of the villains. Optic, like
Dude.
give me all of them.
He's
and so
Optic.
Centaur,
good
man.
old butthead, right?
Now I hear you. I love the idea of celebrating 1982 to 2026 because the IP has gone a long way. We were talking about Tron a lot earlier, but like Masters of the Universe has had multiple attempts. And there are fans of every little thing, and it's all culminating. And that's what I really like about MOTUNIVERSE is that your approach has not been to, oh man, we only want to talk about vintage or we only want to talk about the mini comics. Like, no, we want to celebrate it all because this is a big year, and we want to remind the fandom that like we don't want this to go the way of Tron Ares. We don't want that movies coming out, man. Like right around this May 23rd to 24th weekend. And so like we want folks just remembering like, oh yeah, that Masters of the Universe thing is a big deal. Oh, they had a fan convention here. We should see what that movie's about. Like we should get people buzzing and really seeing this in a positive light. So I love that you guys are doing it that way, man.
Just to show you, I do care. Okay,
there he is. See,
on card. All right, there he is on card. New Adventures.
There he is.
I
flexing that product.
I gotta say,
I appreciate it to a certain extent.
Flexing the
well,
brand.
let me just say. Mattel as well. Like Mattel, I think has made a real good go, and respect to them for bringing this thing back in the last couple of years, right? Even though like Revelation, like there was a segment of the quote unquote fan community who really like were negative about it, and they weren't quiet about it. They spent a lot of time trying to like let people know that they thought it sucked. Okay, fair, whatever. It is what it is, but like. Kudos to Mattel for being like, no, you know what? Our strategy for Masters of the Universe is definitely to reactivate people by reminding them how awesome those vintage toys were with Origins. But we're going to make them 21st century style, and they're going to be real cool. You can pop and swap and play with them with your kids. But then they didn't stop there. They're just like, yeah, and we're also going to do another kids show, and we're going to have their own toys that look very different, so that the kids can enjoy those. And then we're going to try and do something resembling like an adult collector line, but at retail, like $20. These figures they're huge figures. Like these are $20 Masterverse figures compared to like some of the other lines that you're getting at retail. Like, so again, people were like, I don't really like it, whatever. But hey, Mattel didn't half-ass it at all. And now they're here with a movie. They did a couple of Netflix cartoons. And so let's come together. MOTUNIVERSE, these guys are giving us that venue. I love the idea of a celebration. But what else are we going to do? What are some of the other ideas for MOTUNIVERSE?
Like just to put a bow on that, we definitely are looking at celebrating the movie as well. Like it's going to be a big focus for us as well. One thing that brings a lot of people together for something like this is an IP, is a movie, right? Yeah. So we want to dedicate a lot of programming towards what's going to happen in the movie, because we don't know, right? We don't know. We're going to gather a whole bunch of different panelists and people who are huge Master Universe fans, get their opinions on what's happening with this movie, talk about what we want to see, what we expect to see, what we know from about around that time, the trailers that are going to come out, right? The eventual buzz, whether or not the rumors have been true, because we've been hearing a lot of different rumors from a lot of different sources. Rob Liefeld has pretty much claimed that he's watched the entire film. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole bunch of crap going around. We want all of us to just gather into a single room and basically just like come up with what is going to happen with this film, and then make a community-based decision. Is it going to suck or is it going to be great? Right? Either which way, it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's going to be a huge part of our program for 2026. But we really want to celebrate the Princess of Power in 2026 because the Princess of Power really just got a birthday card, not really much of a birthday cake at all. Mattel, for whatever reason, didn't really. This was her birthday, but you know what? I look back at it and I said to myself, Master Universe really, in a lot of ways, He-Man's 40th anniversary figure for Masterverse didn't actually come out until around this time too. So they kind of both dropped the ball on both the twins. So, but the reality is, we want to celebrate the Princess of Power properly, and we are striving very hard to make that happen. We're talking to a whole bunch of different guests who could definitely make this a huge birthday celebration for Princess Power. No spoilers.
Let's pause and let that breathe. I love it.
What?
No, and so we're not going to spoilers, but just so I understand that you're in this funny position where, as Mikey said earlier, he's been like reaching out to people and trying to gauge interest and see if they can get people to commit. So there's no promises, but the fact that you are trying to say, we want to celebrate Princess of Power in the context of this larger Motu thing, I think that's awesome. And two, that you really want to try and bring some folks in who have something to say about Princess of Power. I love that that's a priority for you. This is what I really love about this thing. It's like celebrating all aspects of Masters of the Universe. So that's what this is. Again, tell your folks this thing is happening, and keep going, Jay. Yeah, keep selling, buddy.
But we really want to talk about the history of Princess Power. And by the way, we're not ignoring the DreamWorks version of Princess Power. That is part of 1985 through 2026. There's a lot of people who
we definitely would like to get some folks.
Yeah, there are a lot of people going to ooh and what? There's going to be a lot of people who are. But you know what? This is a Master Universe convention, and we have to recognize everything that has come before. And it's something which has its own audience. And the reality is that it's a younger audience, and we want younger people to come to the show, right? So that's the other thing about this. So you don't see it right now in the current marketing we have here, but we welcome everybody. That's a very big thing about the show. We want everyone to come and enjoy themselves, and that's part of it. So yeah, we're very. And the thing is, we also want to really just get an idea of we have a lot of fan voting that's going to be happening. Because we want to find out our own fan votes, because Eternia's Choice kind of does its own thing, but we want to do our thing and find out, and maybe even just say, hey, this is what we got from our polls. Maybe you should think about it, right? So that's something that we are very, very dedicated towards, and that's important to us for all these properties, including the Princess of Power. So very much looking into that. We also want to celebrate, or like I said, wine and groan about the great and absolutely horrible games of He-Man in video games from 1983 to 2026. There have been some great games in the past. There have been some absolute stinkers. I mean, a lot of people just don't even know that there was a Commodore 64 version, a Atari 2600 version of He-Man and Master Universe. There was PC games, there were PS2 games, there was a Game Boy Advance game. A lot of people just don't know that these games exist. And in 2026, there will be a brand new arcade-style beat-em-up game from Limited Run Games. It's going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be called the Dragon Pearl of Destruction. And this thing looks to be absolutely amazing. So we are very excited. And we're hoping that Limited Run Games will actually be generous enough to give us a couple of playable demos or something along that line so people can really experience things. So...
See, like, again, I want to highlight and celebrate y'all for, one, even name checking. Oh, sorry, the DreamWorks show, as well as, like, sorry, I just realized he was talking about the Netflix CGI show, but same with that one.
Yeah, same.
But the DreamWorks,
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, like, and the notion that we're going to celebrate it all and we're open to it all, I think it's actually really, really important. That's my pitch, folks. I know folks were joking or sort of commenting earlier, maybe not joking, that he's too diplomatic, but there's a reason. If we want these IPs that we actually truly love to last, we have to realize that like, we have a role that we can play in making sure that people see these IP in a positive light. And it just actually isn't really good for these things if we're sitting here only and overly being critical when it doesn't do so great or whatever it is. Like, we should just, realize, I'm old enough to now realize that if you make a mistake, you keep going and eventually you're going to find some other good stuff along the way. And I think that's what Master of the Universe is. That's what Star Wars is. That's what Lord of the Rings is. That's what they all are. And so the fact that you guys are approaching this MOTUNIVERSE as a celebration, like you said it, Jay, I know, like, it's funny. It's like, it's in jest, but it's real to say, like, oh yeah, we're going to look at the great games and the not so great games, because they weren't, especially by 21st century standards. But imagine going to one place where you can, like, you see all this stuff and talk to people about those old games and do the comparing, and then hopefully get a playable demo of the new stuff. To me, if I were Mattel, and this is to some of the points that were been in the comments earlier, man, Mattel should be going like, damn, this is awesome. Thank you, fans, for, like, continuing to breathe life into this thing and remind people about how awesome these things are, even when they're not as, like, awesome as they could have been, right? Like, so we're really doing the work of trying to keep this thing alive and in a positive light, and so that we can maybe get new, even better attempts at stuff.
So the thing about this too is that the two media which get young people involved are happening in 2026: movies and video games. So this is the time to get people talking and interested in Master Universe, and that's exactly what one of our goals is here, to continue Master Universe well into the future, as Master Universe really has this chance once again to be in the public's consciousness, and for hopefully a long time. The future's never set, right? There's no fate. There's no fate unless you make it, right? That's we know that. We know that there's no fate unless you make it. So hopefully, and here's the thing. I don't tell the story very often, but I was at Joe Fest 2024, and a father and son came up to me, and the dad handed me I think it was I'm pretty sure it was a dinner tray. And he goes, "My son would like you to sign this." And I looked at him and was like, "Oh, you want me to sign this?" And he says, "No, my son wants you to sign this." And I'm like, "Your son?" And I was looking around at eye level. I'm looking for anybody who's, a little bit older, whatever, maybe a teenager. And he goes, "No, my son's down here." And I had to look down, because standing in front of me was a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old was standing, and I looked at him, I was like, "Son, you want me to sign this?" He's like, "I love Master Universe." He was beaming.
Oh,
we were at a GI Joe show.
Yeah.
We were at a GI Joe show.
Did you go? Holy crap!
I have a photo. I have a photo of the moment, and it was such a great moment. I'm gonna dig it up. And show you guys later. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what we need. We need young folks to really get into Master Universe, and I was so touched. I was first of all, I was gobsmacked, and I was so touched that was happening. It was crazy.
That's awesome, and you're 100% right. The things that are going to grab more young, choice of words, but the things that are going to get the attention of more young people on He-Man and Masters of the Universe are video games, like you said, and like so. I think the fact that you're playing that up and then movies is super smart. But what else we got going on here? Because like we know there have been hardcore fans for decades doing cool
absolutely
stuff.
And this is one of my favorites. MOTUNIVERSE Masters of Cosplay. This one, of course, is I think everyone loves costume. It's Halloween season coming up. I mean, we're pretty much a week away from Halloween. Yep. So it is the time, guys. It is the time to celebrate dressing up and having a good time with everybody out there. And MOTUNIVERSE is no different. We want to celebrate the Masters of Cosplay extravaganza. And if we happen to reach our second stretch goal, our second stretch goal of $20,000, we'll be able to really get an amazing amount of support for that. We will, no matter what, have a great cosplay event, but it really opens up the door for that. We want people to come and join the passionate members of the cosplay community as they showcase their talents in the first annual Masters of Cosplay extravaganza. It's going to be absolutely epic.
We want to have like
you're welcome to
stuff.
Exactly. But you're welcome to come with whatever cosplay you want. If you want to be Spider-Man, you can be Spider-Man. If you want to be JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you can do that. You can be Dragon Ball Z. You can be whatever you want. But we're not going to lie.
Spider-Man, He-Man, then you might be onto something there.
Exactly. And not gonna lie, but if you do decide to actually go and make a Master Universe cosplay, you're gonna get some bonus points. I mean, that's just how these things tend to work. So
I have a thought about that. Just if I interject, I think that's all really well and good. I think the idea of like having folks come in as they are with their fandom or whatever. But what if you actually invited that, but then with a twist that maybe there's a category of, what do they call them? Like a mashup kind of thing, or
mashup,
where they take their own thing, but then they just any little thing to kind of see what they can do to give it a Masters of the Universe twist.
Honestly, if someone came dressed as, oh, nice, that's the kid.
That's the kid. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And that kid knows what's what, as Giraffe says.
And you see the placard. Like I think it's a dinner tray or a placemat or something. But yeah, like I was awesome. Again, like that got me, man. That's cool, man. Got me. So huge shout out to those guys. Like I love them. Right.
Anyway, go ahead.
If you come as Spider-Man, you got a blonde wig and a harness and some furry underwear and the power sword, you show up Spider-Man with this in your hand. You got my vote.
Sure. Or come as Spider-Man with holding a web store. Even that.
Yeah,
you just come on. That's a little bit of something I think would just be super fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
so you guys have created sort of these like 5 categories of potential things. A lot of people in the chat are having some great ideas, and I want to just bring them up real quick, and there's a point to it. So things like, let me see. Oh, I say that, but okay, well, I'll go back. Like there's people bringing up stuff like the CGI show, which we kind of brought, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about, where else was it?
I mean, we'd love to have representation from them too. Like,
right.
And so anybody that had anything to do with any shows we were going to look into.
So then is there a He-Man merchandise history panel? He-Man
you're
had
looking
so
at
much
merch. You're looking at the man right here who has like so much in his freaking, storage locker. I mean, this is the guy. If you want to talk about that, this is the guy.
So like, there's this piece. I'm just giving a couple of like, just where people are bringing up ideas. Then like, I'm bringing picket signs to the event where CGI He-Man deserves another season. And so there's all this stuff. How do you envision people could maybe funnel and share some of those ideas? Because it sounds like, you're like, oh yeah, we're thinking about that. Just give people a little bit of glimpse into kind of where you're at. Because I happen to know this, but it's not like things are set in stone at this point, right? I want people to understand that. Give them a sense of how this can look.
Yeah, we're still very much in the planning stage, honestly.
Yes.
This is just a fundraising portion of what we're doing. But the reality is that we're taking all submissions for ideas. You can reach us in a number of ways. You can PM both myself and Eternian Royalty on our Instagram pages. But the fastest, most convenient, most efficient way to get in touch is to sign up for our mailing list. So if you go to MOTUNIVERSECon.com, that's MOTUNIVERSECON.com. Now you can actually just go to MOTUNIVERSE.com. It'll send you to the same place, but just giving everybody a heads up. This is our main page, which will definitely be changing once we actually start getting everything going. But right now we do have links to the Kickstarter as well as a timer. That's right. There's only 209 days, 15 hours, and 37 minutes. MOTUNIVERSE again is happening on May 23rd and 24th, 2026. That is Memorial Day weekend. And we are locking down a rate. Everyone keeps asking us, what's the room rate? Like, can you guys get a better rate for us? We are working hard, guys, very, very hard to get everybody the best rate we can for the Marriott, because we know everyone wants to stay at the Marriott. They want to be right where the action is. So as soon as we have a code, which you guys can use to actually get your room rate locked in, trust me, we will be getting that to you as soon as possible. Mike was talking to Amy. Mike was talking to our manager. Mike was talking to the manager of the hotel, who's in charge of this just the other day. Weren't you, Mike? I think
just yesterday, and then even earlier today, going back and forth with a few emails. We're pushing hard to get you guys the best rate we can get. It's been a little bit of a give and take, like,
sure,
we can do this. Well, no, we need this. Well, okay, well, if you do that, then we're going to do this. No, we need, so it's been a process. So we're hang in there. We're coming to the end, I think. Hopefully next week it should be locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hotel's been very, very good with working with us. So, but we do want what we need for our everybody here. We're a community after all. We want to take care of you guys.
Exactly.
So underneath the countdown though is a sign up form for our mailing list, and we would encourage anybody who has ideas, or if you want to become an exhibitor at MOTUNIVERSE 2026, to put in your name, your first name, last name, email, and of course under the messages, indicate that, hey, I got a great idea for a panel. List all the details you can. There's no character limit. So just write down everything you can about your idea, what it is you want to see, and even if it's just guests that you'd like to see at the event, or events that you'd like to participate in, let us know. Let us know what you're looking for. And if you are an exhibitor, let us know that you're an exhibitor. We're building up a list of exhibitors that we will be mailing out all of the exhibitor application forms for. So yeah, this is the best way to because it's easier for us to collate and make sure everything's concise instead of just a random PM, which we have to figure out how to copy.
Okay, fair enough. So you go to the website. Again, that's MOTUNIVERSECON.com. And at the bottom, you'll see the mailing list there. Oops, not that one, but this one. But yeah, that's where you funnel all your ideas. So folks got some concrete ideas. People want to see more representation of this or this kind of idea. Throw it in there. And again, if you're the kind of person, because I know this is bringing up, this process has connected you with a lot of people who are interested in helping and actually have the either connections or skills to help. If you're like, I have this idea and I can help you with it, let them know that. Like they want to know you and they want to be able to reach out to you. So the idea is we've got the Kickstarter that ends in about 20 days. Then you figure out, okay, this is our working budget. Now let's work with the venue to figure out rooms, etc. What other spaces we might be able to have access to, and then plan out a program. Is that right? That's generally what comes next. Yep.
People that have connections, I would say, to guests. The reason we were able to get William Stout is a gentleman that was like, hey, I want to help in any way possible. He was very good friends. He was like, oh, I know Bill. We're like, Bill. And, he's like, oh, yeah, I can reach out to him. And then, William Stout heard about it and he's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yes, I'm in. You can count me in. So, having that kind of personal connection with the guests, we'd love to hear from you if you have that kind of connection with somebody that you would like to see at the con. Definitely reach out to us and let us know, because a lot of these people, like I said, you don't want to come from left field, right? It's always better if there's some kind of connection there.
Introduction, for sure. Hey, on that note, let's pretty quickly go through what you've already, like, these are things that we already know are going to happen. So let me move that and let me throw this in. So if you go to MOTUNIVERSE, tinyurl.com/MOTUNIVERSE to the campaign, you'll see that already, like, straight up, the artist guest of honor is going to be Tony Washington, which is awesome. I know you got to meet him, right, Mike? And so he's like been prolific in terms of his artwork, not just for Masters of the Universe, but for a bunch of other awesome nerdy projects.
Oh yes, yeah. He's done a bunch of different projects. He's did some Spider-Man 2099. He's done a lot of different Marvel properties. But he the way I've met him was through PowerCon, actually, when it was in Torrance. That was actually where I first met him. Perfect. And he had a bunch of Masters prints, and I was like drooling over him on his table. I'm sorry, man, and he knew I was a big fan, and he was really cool. And we talked MOTU for probably close to an hour. It was like just hanging out at the table talking. And over the years, seeing him each year, and then he's a local here in San Diego with me, so seeing him at San Diego Comic-Con was really cool. And yeah, I think we just kind of got to build a relationship that way. And when we started to do this, I'm like, okay, I definitely know who I want to be our featured artist, because he's amazing, first off, with his artwork, but also kind of a friend of mine. So, I wanted to really showcase him.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, dude is incredibly talented. I'm familiar with his work on MOTU, but like just doing a quick glance at Instagram, which
some turtles
again, folks, if you're not familiar with this show, there is a URL that you can access through that QR code on the bottom right. And after the show, I'll put in links to everything, so you can go follow these folks. Get all the links that you need to contact MOTUNIVERSE, follow Tony Washington, etc. But just take a look at his prolific work. Like, it's going to be so cool to have him there and hear about his work as an artist, and then definitely hear about his Masters of the Universe work. And quickly, can you guys tell us about this special thing he's got going on over here?
Yeah. So we commissioned him. We said, hey, would you be open to doing an exclusive print for our con? He was like, of course. I was like, that's great, man. I'm like, can you, maybe give us like just 2 or 3 options, and then that way we can choose. And he's like, yeah, I'll sketch some things out. You guys can decide which sketch you like, and then we can move forward with one. Well, he sent us 8. And again, he's a fan. So he got really excited, and he drew 8 different ones. And, we ended up showing them all on a live. I forget what, again, these are all like blending together at this point, right?
Yeah.
But we showed them on a live, and then we took it to the team. And it seemed, even in the live and with our team, that these 3 were the by far top 3 picks here. So the first one was He-Man and She-Ra in the Masters Universe charging into the battle. He has Skeletor looming behind. It's very kind of a similar look if you go to that last slide where She-Ra has Hordak looming behind. So it kind of looks like, yeah, there you go. That it's going to have like that kind of look to it, right? With the foreshadowing there. Then the second one was really cool because it's Evelyn, and in her staff crystal ball is the Torrance Marriott Hotel. So it kind of brings a little bit of real world into it, which I thought was pretty cool. So he writes in red there, the Marriott.
Dig it. I love it.
And then the third one was He-Man and Skeletor back to back, with Snake Mountain behind Skeletor, Grayskull behind He-Man, and they're kind of popping out at you guys 3D style. And then, of course, the little box would be where it would say MOTUNIVERSE, right? So, yeah, we're supposed to meet up with him next week. He's going to go do some sort of live, or we can do a video announcing the winner. It does look like if you click on the voting, I believe, is it there?
Here? It's not on
Is
here.
it on that post? I don't remember.
No.
I think I put it on that post, didn't I?
If you did, maybe you took it down after the voting was over.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah.
But the number one is taken and kind of ran away with it.
And which one was it? What was the number one?
That one there.
Oh, actual number one. This one. Got it.
Yes. Yep. He said he is going to adjust it. One of the fans was like, "Can we make She-Ra a little more prevalent?" Because that was going to be her right there on the far. Yeah, there you go. Right so we're going to bring her more towards the front. It is. We're celebrating her also. So we're going to have He-Man and She-Ra a little more front forward.
Mm-hmm. That's great. It's going to be so cool. And, again, this is a person who was no stranger to Masters of the Universe. He's doing it professionally. So some of these, they're used on packaging art, right? Like some of this is Masterverse stuff, or do you know?
So he did artwork
comics
for PowerCon, actually.
Okay. Got it. Good stuff.
He did artwork also for, and I'm pretty sure, what was it called? Icons of Evil. Merman, so like some comics back in the day. MV Creations.
MVC Creations.
Love that. Yeah. So here's more of his work. He will be the featured guest of honor. Does that mean, like, are you thinking like he is doing a panel, he'll be signing? Like, what does that mean in terms of MOTUNIVERSE, the event?
We still in talks about what he's actually going to be involved with, but we are envisioning a panel, and he actually is an Adobe partner and expert for illustrations and software. So it would be great to see his insights. There, as you know, there are a lot of aspiring artists who come to conventions, and having him there is also an opportunity for people just to hear and listen and learn a little bit more about different techniques. So it's great. Cool. It's an honor to have him there.
Absolutely, man. And then on the writing side of things, you got Joshua Skye, who's been writing for, again, Masters Universe. He's essentially like writing the comics and the stories right now and carrying forward what the story is behind Masters of the Universe. But has also worked in comics in general. And I heard you mention this the other day, and I realized I didn't put two and two together, but he was the guy behind the Metal Erland or Heavy Metal Kickstarter, right? That kind of brought that.
Not really behind. He's one of the writers on the staff. Of them. So
okay, so dope. I love that. So tell us about like what you're thinking. Similar question, like, will Josh? Is it kind of, you're not sure? Do you have any thoughts on what he might be doing at the event? Oops, where's Josh? There's Josh.
I personally would like to ask him, all about, different new characters that he's been involved with, particularly Stingor. I think a lot of people would like his insights on how a character like that is actually created on a narrative level. Because obviously it's cool to create character designs for characters, but apparently I've been educated to the point that Stingor is actually based off of an original sketch from back in the day. So how does one take a sketch and make it into something? It's interesting that he wasn't actually included in the sketchbook series, right? So that's interesting. How are those decisions made, right? So it's a unique opportunity for someone who's actually in the industry, working on the property that we love so much, and trying to get any information we can from him.
I love this. Thank you, Ryan, for the reminder. Absolutely. I got to engage the chat. I'm just so excited to have these guys and hear a little bit more about their plans. But yes, I love that folks are chiming in and people are like responding to the artwork. Giraffe was saying all three were epic. Whichever gets picked works. And so number one, we now know, is there. Kenny, I'm sorry you had a bad day, but if you go back to the beginning of the stream, we started with sports talk. So you're welcome. So, but yes, apologies for not checking in with the chat. I'm excited to hear about this stuff. I'm being a little selfish. So granted, my bad. Okay. So we got Josh Skye. I think that's really cool. I love that you, I don't know how you thought about this and envisioned it, but just the idea that you're thinking artist and writer, and then like going a little bit further back to the next one, which I got to say, I was incredibly excited to hear about. William Stout, we kind of already name checked him, but dude, this guy, along with some of the like just great comic book artists and concept artists, he's up there for me. He would be on the equivalent of a Mount Rushmore for me in like my sort of visual sense. These things, I will tell you, back in the day, when those hit, what was it called? Comic Scene, I think was the name of the magazine. When they said, hey, there's a Masters of the Universe thing in the works. And then they started showing some of this concept art, like my head exploded. I wasn't one of those who needed to see Filmation on the big screen. I was just excited to see, like, that is so damn cool. And the She-Ra, whoo. So the idea that you have him come in is amazing. So thank your friend, whoever connected him to this, but that's going to be really cool. Again, you're not quite sure how he'll play in, but maybe a panel, maybe he'll be on the floor signing potentially.
Yeah, I would hope both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a couple of ideas as well. Because again, he's a wealth of information, as we all know. I mean, he's not just Master Universe as a lot of people. Like in terms of comics, he has a very rich comic history.
Yep.
He's one of the founders of one of the comic societies that's been around.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
His designs, a lot of people credit him for inspiring Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? Like a lot of his designs, which, like, if you look at them, they really did lend themselves well to the Jurassic Park aesthetic. The iconic Wizards poster, which everybody recognizes.
Yep.
Right?
Bakshi goodness.
Yeah, that's all these wonderful things, and of course, I guess it was Night of the Living Dead or Return of the Evil Dead.
Return of the Living Dead, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, he's been involved in so many different comics and movies and productions that it's just an honor to have him. He can also talk about his work with Mobius and the relationships he has. Right?
Yes, so, absolutely. For me, I'm telling you guys, this is, again, we could bring in so many other folks to this thing just because he's there, but then they're going to be exposed to Masters of the Universe and the fandom and all the cool things. Like, check this out, man. This was, Pan's Labyrinth, Universal Werewolf, so many things that William Stout has been able to kind of do in his career. So excited about that for sure. Okay, and then more recently, you announced this guy, and I, again, as a huge fan of Revolution, I know Tim's been really busy with Mattel, but especially with these two things, this is cool. Can I ask how you sort of were able to make this happen, or because this was like after the Kickstarter had started?
Yeah, it's again, you know what? It's the reality is that the community continues to be just a wellspring for us, really. This was just another one. So say, hey, I know Tim Sheridan. We're like, what? You know who? and they said, yeah, I can give him a reach out, see if he's interested. And quite literally, I think both, Mike, I think we were both on bated breath to find out what would happen. But now Mike's unfortunately gotten into the habit of checking his email every now and then. Which is, you gotta stop that.
I know, right?
You
kind of want to check it now, but
so we were on bated breath to find out what the response would be. I mean, the man's worked in not only comics but also television. Again, much like Mr. Stout, he's written for again the Master Universe Revelation and Revolution series. He's done work for Netflix on Transformers. War for Cybertron. Yep. He wrote for Superman: Man of Tomorrow, and he's a continual staff writer on Star Trek Lower Decks. So I mean, the man is really entrenched in not only science fiction writing but also comedy writing, and we're very blessed to actually have him as a guest and really be able to pick his brain. He also gave us a very cryptic message. If you want to zoom in on his bio. Right at the end of his bio, he says something which is very intriguing for Master Universe fans. Right at the end, if you want to highlight that, Brick, it says, "He fans." I'm redacting this, but sorry, keep watching this, please. So
it's like, what is it? What is it?
I have my dream of what that could potentially be, and but I actually don't even need to throw it out there. You know what? Because I think somebody else threw it out in the chat about the potential of a third installment. Revolution. I think the person in the chat, and I'm sorry, I can go back. I am not nearly as skilled as Mega J in handling such an active chat, but they were suggesting redemption for the third one, and I, that works on multiple levels. But if folks remember, if you actually watch Revolution, we got teased with some Adora connections and some Horde connections.
Yep.
I need to see that happen. So we shall see. Okay, so that's kind of like your overall plan so far. Is there anything else at this point? Like if you had blue sky, carte blanche to, you had money wasn't an issue. You've got the resources. What are some other like thoughts on the kinds of things you would want to do that you haven't necessarily touched on, or maybe guests or something?
Okay, so if you want to go through the tiers themselves, let's talk about where we are at this point. So
cool.
So let's start with our first goal. So first of all, guys, thank you so much. At $5,000, which was achieved in only 6 hours,
that was insane.
Absolutely
so good.
All the way. And so much so that Brick, if you actually want to do me a favor, Brick, if you want to share my screen really quick, I'll share this moment, because this moment was both hilarious, but at the same time just really touching in its overall. I don't know if the audio is going to come through, but hopefully it will. So check out this one moment, first by myself, and then right afterwards, Mike, because this moment was precious. So let me just hit. No, I'll hit refresh. So let me hit refresh. I'm gonna turn on the sound, and here we go.
Oh, he's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think the audio plays through, but it was really fun. I was in the chat, actually. I think it was during work. I was grading.
Yeah.
Mikey does his little he's got a little bit of a head dance there going on. I loved it. It was fun.
I was not expecting that to happen so fast. So when it launched, right? It launched at noon Pacific, and we were like, okay, cool. We did a couple hours. We got a few grand right off the bat, and I was already blown away by that. And I was almost speechless at that point. And we're like, okay, we're gonna hop back on at like 7. We'll check it out before the end of the day, and we'll see where it's at.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to 7.
we were extremely ecstatic, and we, as you can see, the excitement was there for all of us.
Yep.
And Brick, a few days later, you were there to join us, and very much the same reaction when we hit our first stretch goal, which was absolutely bonkers. But first, I want to thank everybody who's already pledged support to this. Thank you so much for your support. Because of you, because of your efforts, we've secured the venue. Everything is 100% in place. MOTUNIVERSE will take place in 2026, May 23rd to 24th, the Memorial Day weekend, at the Redondo Beach. Torrance Marriott. Sorry, I'm tripping over myself.
All good.
The Torrance Marriott.
We've only said it like 100 times over the last couple.
I know it's just I'm still flabbergasted at what's been going on. And then a few days later, we're all witness to the $10,000 stretch goal, which is just absolutely bonkers. Huge shout out to everybody who helped make this happen. And thanks to this, we're able to open up more areas of the venue, including breakout rooms, which, as we mentioned earlier, will allow us to actually have dedicated panels, keynote speakings, and guest appearances for multiple guests, including, of course, Mr. William Stout, the venerable Tony Washington, the great Joshua Skye, and of course Tim Sheridan. We are very excited at these guests alone, but we are in talks and continual talks with more guests. And our next stretch goal will really help us to achieve that. At $15,000, this is my personal favorite stretch goal, but basically it allows us to open up even more space, which allows us to have a dedicated cosplay zones. And these are fun because there are events which happen inside the event, but also outside the event. And the more areas we get to open up, the Torrance is going to work with us to actually allow us to have free roaming areas. Anyone who's actually been at PowerCon in the past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's patio areas, there's areas, in the foyer and different places in the venue, which a lot of cosplayers will really appreciate, as cosplay takes up a lot of room. And photography is a big thing. We want those wonderful little areas where we can set up backdrops.
Yeah, backdrop.
It would be really cool if we actually had some artists create some wonderful backdrops like Snake Mountain, like Castle Grayskull, it would be great if Tony would allow us to print those up, and because he's got some incredible vistas.
Those would be amazing. Stuff. Yeah.
If we had the Crystal Castle in the back, imagine that. I think that is really my goal, to get the Crystal Castle printed up and it just have those ready to go. And this allows us to do that at $15,000. It also allows us to invite more guest speakers, as well as artists who have worked on the MOTU projects, and especially toy guests who have brought our favorite action figures to life. And that's what we're hoping for once we reach our 15,000, which we're not that far away, guys. We're about $2,500. We're about $2,500 away from reaching our just a little under $2,500 away from our $15,000 stretch goal, which is insane to think about. And then, of course, as I was alluding to earlier, $20,000. This will allow us to have just so much more in terms of what we really want to achieve for this event. When we reach $20,000 in stretch goal, MOTUNIVERSE will become even closer to Eternia. This milestone allows us to invite higher profile guests. As we said, we're in talks with multiple talent, as well as guests from the actual industry, people who've worked on Master Universe. And we really are hoping to get people who might be connected to the movie somehow. Or, again, people who are much more connected to the production of Master Universe. We're really looking forward to that. And, of course, we want to, as Mike alluded to earlier, host screenings of Master Universe properties, certain episodes that are key to the Master Universe, really grails that people watch and just like are their favorite episodes. We also want people to vote for the favorite episodes that we want to screen, because we can't screen as much as we'd like to. We can't screen the entire series of New Adventures, of Filmation, of Revelation, but what we do want is we want to have key episodes that people will vote on, and basically say this is the episode we should be screening at MOTUNIVERSE 2026. As Mike also said earlier, we definitely want to have the Master Universe 1987 film, so we can just roast the F out of it. I mean, that's really what everyone wants, to just have fun with that, and just have fun with the original movie, and try to poke fun at the production value, what they had to do, the struggles that they had, and maybe even have some insights from Mr. Stout about what it took to actually get that film off the ground, because it's my understanding that it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare to get that film together.
And actually, so you've kind of mentioned this in the past, that if you're going down, a lot of folks are going to be going down from out of town to Southern California for this thing. Make a weekend of it. Whittier, California, Old Town Whittier is where the Eternians touched down on Earth when they came and invaded. That's where my mom used to work. And it's not that far from where you'll be at. So if you wanted to kind of do like a movie, like, hey, that's where this was, you could do something like that too. So
you also have Mattel's headquarters is about 10 miles away from where the con will be held.
That's right.
So you can always go visit the Mattel headquarters as well.
Yep.
But So go ahead.
No. Go ahead. And then when we're done, I know I asked for some ideas. Well, how about I do this? Let me ask, and then you'll finish. If you are in the chat right now, we're really curious to know: are you planning on coming out? Do you know if people who need to know about this, if they might be interested in the LA area that might actually come out? Just give us a sense of who's actually in this chat right now is actually thinking about coming out May 23rd, May 24th. And if you have other ideas, share them in the chat now, and we'll finish off with that after Jay shares his idea. What were you going to say, Jay?
No. I was also mentioning that we are 100% looking forward to everybody attending, and there are as you mentioned, and I see some people commenting about how to get to the show. Apparently, the local transit has a direct shuttle. Again, I don't live in California, but apparently there are ways to get there from transit. Apparently, there's a direct shuttle from there to the hotel.
From Amtrak, I think is what people were saying. So Amtrak will take you into a couple of different places there, including LA's Union Station, and there's a way to get there from there. And I got to imagine there might be shuttles from the closest airport. Would it be what? Would that be Orange County's John Wayne?
So Long Beach, I guess, was what
Long Beach
told is going to be the closest.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Pricing with that, when you go into those smaller airports, I tend to see that the pricing is a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to go, probably like an international airport, LAX would be the way to go. Mm-hmm. You're looking at probably a 20-minute drive from LAX.
Yeah.
But if you're flying into Long Beach, then you're right there. It's a pretty short drive.
If you're like, oh man, I'm curious, but I don't know how to get there and all that kind of stuff. As we get closer, that's definitely something that these guys are going to be working on, or the team will be working on, to make sure that, that's clear. That'll be on the website. Like, hey, if you're coming in from here, and I'm down to help with that too. But those are the kinds of things that we will definitely figure out. So if the thing you're figuring out is how to get there from the airport, oh man, don't worry about it. That'll be taken care of.
We got you.
Okay.
Yeah, but also for everything else that we're hoping to achieve with this stretch goal, we have lots of plans. I mean, there's just so many other activities that we have in the works. But yeah, we are really excited for hopefully reaching the $20,000 stretch goal sooner rather than later. And then, of course, if we hit our $25,000 stretch goal, the possibilities then are endless. I mean, we will have achieved the power of Grayskull, and we can have more space. We'll have more areas. We'll have more activities, and it's just everything continues. And we've had some really great ideas from people. Someone mentioned that they would love to see a workshop on how to customize your action figures. You know what I mean? How if any toy companies are coming by, if they would do a presentation on the design and development of action figures, right? Our own JP from Thundercats Classics, he's actually working on an action figure line called From the Realm, and I think it would be a great idea to sit down with JP and see how he develops characters from the ground up, right?
Yep.
And we can't announce it yet, but we are working with a toy company right now for an exclusive. And that in itself, again, we can't talk about it publicly.
Got his eyebrow up there,
but
just pause for a moment. Take that in.
Yeah, it's just
exactly. See,
it's just these things which we're very excited for.
It is mind blowing to think that we may have an exclusive toy for everybody, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and of course, which toy company is that? I guess we'll have to wait to see. But these are the types of things that we're very excited for, and we think that a lot of people will be very happy with all those things. The other thing that we would love to have as well is more suggestions on how we can make this a better event for you guys, because I've been told and we fully plan to have a they call them we call it lobby swapping, but that's not really what it is it won't be exactly that on our event, but maybe some room swaps, you know what I mean? Get people who just open up an entire floor, and like maybe we rent the entire floor, and people can just go to room and showcase some of their collections, maybe have them for sale. Those are a lot of fun, and a lot of people really enjoy those types of things. So we really want to have that community feel for MOTUNIVERSE. Like, one of the things about a large convention that really it really bugs a lot of people is the fact that you're in line 90% of the time. Like that's just what they are. They're just like line cons. That's all they are. And you're just trying your best to make it worth your while for having spent that much money to go out and to stay and do whatever you can. And we want an experience for everybody, but we don't want you to be dejected by what it is that we're trying to achieve, right? And we're hoping that everyone will be able to get something, and be happy with everything that we're trying to do. And when it comes down to any exclusives, we're trying to work with our partners and trying to get everyone's availability. You know what I mean? We don't want anybody to be left out. It's inevitable, but we really do want to try and help everybody as much as possible. It seems to be
cool. So on sort of this last leg of our stream today, let's actually take a look at the chat. There have been a lot of conversations, ideas thrown into the chat, and I'll try my best to kind of categorize them. But here they're in the start, and I'm going to kind of go through them. So first, let's go back. You said, "Hey, 2026 is a big year because we're going to have a movie." So here's Rick Jones. I love you, Rick Jones. And he's coming in hot with a spicy take. He's saying Jared Leto's box office poison. He's going to be Skeletor next. Okay, this is true. And he's part of the movie. But I'm going to balance you out there with Thanos. But Motu's going to dominate the box office. So just in general, on those two notes, what are we? It's going to be a big moment. When does the movie come out? In the summer, right? Like a couple
June
months
5th.
After?
Believe it or not, only a couple weeks after
June.
So.
Okay, so I know you all have talked about it. Like, we would love to. I've heard you say have some kind of representation from the movie there. So can you share just briefly your thoughts on that and what the possibilities might be there?
Mike, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, we're trying to be like, hey, Mattel, hey, Amazon, MGM, we're putting together a convention where there's hundreds, potentially 1,000+ people gathering for this property 10 days before you're about to have a worldwide release of this movie. Maybe you want to have some sort of representation there. I don't expect Nicholas Gasoline or, all these, Jared Leto or Iris Elba, like any of those guys, they're bigger stars. I don't know if they would show up to a tiny little con that is grassroots Kickstarter here.
Sure.
Right. But again, we'll ask, right? But I could see us trying to get the guy who plays Trapjaw, Sam Wilson, I believe, right, is his name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Some of these guys, I can't remember the name. We have the guy that plays Fisto or Mechanic or Ram Man. I mean, I would love to be able to get the Sorceress. She'd be amazing. Or King Randor. Any of these.
Morena Baccarin. Yes.
There you go.
That would be interesting.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? And she even said, if you go to He-Mania, she said she loved the property. She watched it as a kid with her brother.
Yep.
Some of these actors and actresses are fans. Yep. So if they hear about this, maybe that will entice them to come.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here, and again, we're up and coming, right? There's a lot of buzz. I guess buzz is not the word right now, but I find it incredible, and again, humbling that when we first went on Toy Habits, just to even say, "Hey, is this a good idea?" You know what I mean? We were shocked. I was shocked. I'm pretty sure Mike felt the same way, but I was shocked at the very within the next 2 days or so. People were just reaching, "Hey, do you need help? I'd love to get involved. I used to work for PowerCon. I was this, I was that. How can what do you need?" Right? And it was just a moment where whoa, what's going on here? This is, and having run multiple events myself, I was like, okay. I told Mike this. I said, okay, we're going to have to look for a team. We're going to have to put something together. We're going to have to reach out to anybody we know who actually has an experience. And that was almost not necessary. The people came to us. And it was incredible. And not only did they come to us, but they said, I know this person. I know that person.
Right.
You should try this. You should try that. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? And to me, that really was eye-opening, and to the point where, when it really boils down to it, there are a few people who actually have connections within the industry, and those connections are really vital for what we're trying to achieve. For the movie aspect of it, as I said, we're really hoping to have number one, a lot of programming just surrounding the idea that what if what is happening, what's going to happen, who's going to be in this thing. We're hoping that by that time it'll be confirmed whether or not there is a web series or a new cartoon that's coming out, because that's been rumored, in magazines and such. So we're hoping that maybe there's a full discussion group on what happened during that, because apparently, if rumors are true, that'll actually be aired before the movie, right? So there's a lot of media that's going to be available to us at that stage, and the obvious, wish list of wish lists, right? The actual, God, this would be nice to have, or damn, we really need that, would definitely be, as Mike said, if we can get even one person from the production at all, whether it be Trapjaw or Ramit or the Sorceress, like you guys mentioned just a little while ago, right? We have no aspirations of or any illusions of a Nicholas Galitzine or an Eva Mendes or an Idris Elba. We have no.
Yeah, I don't think we should have the expectation at all. So I'm with you there, but
any of these actors who basically could share some insights as to what they experienced, and whether or not they are fans, right? These are the things that we want to explore, and we want to give that same experience to everyone who's looking forward to this. The other thing that we would really like, to be perfectly honest with you, is maybe just to have some sort of relationship with MGM or Amazon to say, hey, we're doing this thing. How about you give us some pre-swag, like posters, like like cups, like whatever it is you're going to be giving to the theaters. Why don't you drop a few of those off, and we'll just like promote the crap out of this? I mean, like you need seats. You need seats in the theater. We have,
this is your audience,
1,000 plus people who maybe will be going to this movie in the theater down the street. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. No, exactly. And I think I don't know what they're aware of, but you've got some people that are on your current, let's say Rolodex, if that's a thing. I was going to say, well, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but you've got people that you're talking with and engaging with that do have lines to some of those folks, and they don't have to get commitments, but just ask them, like I'm going to continue to ask this audience, make sure you're telling people about this. Make this conversation around MOTUNIVERSE, the Kickstarter, and what could be part of your Instagram stories, and just like keep talking about it. Use the hashtag MOTUNIVERSE, and just get it out there so that maybe they'll see that there's some existing buzz. Go back to our earlier conversation around Tron HasLab and the lack of buzz around that. Hey, let's help create some of that buzz now, so that maybe they'll go, oh crap, we have this movie going on. It's actually kind of silly for us not to be there. As Thanos says, like, hey, reach out to the studio. It actually would be 100% smart for them to engage with the fans. And your sense of scope is right. Like, oh, I don't think we'll get like the stars of the show, but actually we wouldn't, like it could be. They're going to be doing press anyways. They may be feeling like there doesn't seem to be people who naturally are interested in hearing from them. And if we say, hey, there's a venue where everybody in that space will actually want to hear about them.
Right.
So, I don't, just a thing to consider. I'm excited about the possibility. I didn't realize it was so close to the premiere. I think what you just said, Jay, is kind of an easy-ish thing. Like if they're printing any kind of marketing materials, posters, whatever, tote bags, any kind of tchotchke, because they send those out to people all the time. Give us a couple extra, give us a couple hundred, have them available to folks. So there's a thought. And if you can't get the source, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, not the country, but the other thing is send representation. Like send a couple of PR, send a couple of your PR team, right? Send some of your ground team over. We'd love to host them. We'll give you space. You know what I mean? We just want
all the space you want.
Yeah. Well,
Mattel should actually, honestly, like that. We want to reach out to Mattel. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of Mattel this, Mattel that in the chat. Believe me, like I said, the ask is going to come from our side. We're going to talk to Mattel. We're going to talk to MGM. Like, we want, you know, we want Mattel to be present there. We want the movie to have some sort of representation there. I
Agreed.
I really feel that, you know, it's really up to, you know, whether they say yes or no. And if there's a cost, then obviously this Kickstarter is helping with that. And that's the big thing, right?
Yeah. And I think, you know, I think it's going to be smart on their point if they keep that cost as low as possible. Because again, at the end of the day, you want to find the other things, use your budget to bring in people that are already into Masters Universe for all the other things. And they'll be in that space to hear whatever, you know, and be exposed to the movie stuff. You know, as Faker Battlecat says, we have butts to put in those seats at AMC or Cinemark. We just, you know, need a little swap. We should move across the street.
The other opportunity, the other opportunity that is possible, regardless of that, is perhaps even reaching out to, you know, like AMC. Right, we could actually reach out to AMC and say, "Hey, you know, we're doing this thing. Maybe you want to provide us with some stuff, right? Maybe you want to do something with us, right?" There is that avenue as well. There are multiple avenues to attack at this point. Cool. But here's the other thing about that: those opportunities sometimes are made possible through you know, the Kickstarter raise as well, right? If we get to 25,000, as we said, the gates of the Castle Grayskull will be open to us, and basically what we do is with that is it'll allow us to reach out to people who we normally would not have opportunities for, you know, previously, right? And it also allows us to you know, get more advertising on this as well, to really get people's attention and really get the word out that this is a thing that's happening in Torrance, and you know, we should be like companies like Mattel and like AMC and MGM and Amazon. Maybe you should take a look at us, because you know what, we're doing something which is actively helping you, right? We want to tell 100%. Everybody. We want to be the mouthpiece that allows people to understand what you're doing in 2026, and leading up to the movie, leading up to the event. We are not going to stop talking. We are actually going to be on, like what we're doing now. We're going to be amplifying that tenfold as we approach, you know, the show. And not only that, you know, but Mike and I are probably, and you know what, Rick, you and all of our ToyTuber friends, we're probably all going to start just, you know, getting onto live streams, just talk about speculations about what's happening, new drops, right? The whole buzz around this, as it's always been said in multiple iterations, there's no news is bad news, right? All news is good in some fashion, right? So even though people are talking about how terrible Tron Ares was, the reality is now the focus is like, well, what next movie is he going to ruin? Well, you know what? Maybe we should focus on. Maybe we should talk about how, hey, you know what? He's doing something completely different now. It's called Master Universe. And the reality is that this is a role that he could definitely. He's got a freaking bony face, you know. He's actually, you don't actually have to see his face half the time, you know. You don't even know it's Jared Leto. I mean, like, it's going to be great. You know what I mean?
The funny thing with him, bro, is that it's not. I know people have gripes with him, and often it's not necessarily his acting. Like, dude is really talented for my money, but I think he'll make a great Skeletor. Collection Nexus has got it right. This is Berserk. I'm not going to see the movie unless Mattel has a presence. God.
That's it. Let's start a protest until they show up.
I love you, bro. I love you. Awesome.
I love the idea AMC gift cards would work. Yeah, I mean, as gifts, as door prizes, all sorts of things. And I know you already know this. These guys know that. Jay has been doing cons, so he's got all sorts of tricks up his sleeve. I know, and it's gonna be real cool. Let's see. Let's just kind of speed round through this stuff, because I think people shared some things and there's some ideas. We don't have to chime in on everyone, but just food for thought. I want to throw this one up from Ramen earlier. Ace, I don't know if he's still watching, but I'm bringing this up for a reason. He said, I had the privilege as a boy growing up in Singapore. My mom got me a MOTU figure every Saturday when we would go into town for shopping. Those were the days. Love you, Mom. And I just want to put that up here because you've got stories, Jay. You've got stories, Mike, of like growing up with MOTU and getting stuff, right? Imagine if we had a way, like this is the digital space. People put it in a Google form, and we're just projecting people's stories throughout the con, and people have a moment up on a screen in the middle of the con where people get to share their awesome sort of nostalgia and their love for this brand, and we collect those things. Just that's a thought. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I do want to bring these up because Ken, our boy Ken, we love Ken. So he's wondering, I'm assuming this is because of Mega J's. Hey man, how come Ken hasn't been on the lives? Where's he been? Ken is alive. He's well. He's focused a lot on his channel, Toy Connections, and his edited stuff. But go check those out. And he's also every Saturday tonight over on Ostradamus Toys channel.
I asked Ken if we could be on his show, and he told us hell no.
No,
he said no.
To be clear, he doesn't really have a show anymore. He's not really doing live stuff that much anymore. But
I'm
yes.
kidding.
Yes,
I'm kidding.
Yes.
Of course, Kenny's very busy with other things. He's got so many different projects on the go.
Yeah. Totally.
But every now and then you'll notice that he might jump in tonight. You never know. He might just, if he sees it live and he's available, he might just jump in. No, we love Ken, and the reality is that we can't be all places at one time. Yeah. Mike and I are dedicating ourselves to this, and we are making the sacrifice. I mean, Mike literally just walked through the door, and he's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to keep you guys too long, so let's keep zooming. Saturday morning fan. This isn't exactly his point, but he's bringing up, like, he's been trying to bring up the books, get them to libraries, etc. But I think there's an idea there potentially for the fan. How do we either do a display like Mike's stuff, or some kind of like space where people can like get nostalgic and think about the books, or maybe reach out to people? I love that. You guys did a good job of naming the video games. Yeah, there's been a lot of great book stuff, and coloring books, storybooks. Look at that artwork. Like, where are those artists, man?
Some of the coolest art, man.
Yep.
It's you know what? We are blessed that there are folks who are still around. You know, like Alfredo Alcala, he's no longer with us. You know what I mean? And we are hoping very much so that those who are still with us are able to attend, and we're reaching out to as many as we can. And we're not, this is something that is very important to all of us, but we also want to recognize those people who have not always been in the spotlight. You know what I mean? Like, for every Rudy Obrero, there's a guy who illustrated that right there, and you have no idea who that is.
I was like, is that Thanos copter with a helmet on right there?
So we want to bring attention to all of these, and this is what MOTUNIVERSE is all about. MOTUNIVERSE is about like reconnecting with the people who made this our favorite property.
100%.
And because of that, we want this to be an event which people can really look forward to. And we are, as I said earlier, we are, well, I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm pretty sure we all feel this way. We're so humbled about this. We're so humbled that the community is so on board with what we're doing.
You guys opened up a great thing. You've created a great space for some really exciting things to happen. People have a bunch of ideas. Like Giraffe is like, hey, let's talk about the CGI movie. Let's talk about, hey, Secret of the Swords, a Saturday morning fan, right? Yeah. All of that stuff, like, exciting. There's more about the movie. He's like the rumors about like how amazing this production is going to be, where they actually built a life-size Castle of Grayskull in Eternian's palace. This is the one that I was trying to recall earlier. Folks saying, I love Revolution. I hope we get another season called Redemption. Right. And on. Like, folks are saying, hey, Kevin Smith lives in LA. He does. And
I would love to get Kevin Smith. I really would.
Yeah.
But like, again, it's all about, and we said this earlier, it really is all about raising the funds to actually get to these people.
Of course.
Right. That's really what it is, because you know, as much as we love Kevin Smith, the reality is he's busy, and for him to come out,
he's a very. I mean, he could be in New Jersey promoting one of his projects that weekend. You never know. So he's very busy. But yeah, of course. Like again,
these are all just ideas. No need to commit or not.
If the stars align, by all means, we want them.
And I will say, I would be remiss if I didn't bring this one up because I've already pitched it to these guys. Don't you worry. Giraffe is saying, hey, how about Toy Guru or anyone during that Four Horsemen Classics toy run would be fun. Brought He-Man back from the dead. And I will say, I focused on the second part, the Four Horsemen part, because Four Horsemen, obviously, like, man, I've had the privilege of meeting three of them, and they're fantastic people, and they've done so much for toys in general. And they did that through McFarlane Toys and really their work on Masters of the Universe. They brought back Masters of the Universe in a big way when they said, hey, here's our ideas, and we got 2000X. Mm-hmm. And then they did those toys, right? And then later they did Classics, which we know is classic and really helped carry this thing, this IP, for a time when there was no movies, TV shows, whatever in sight. And then now they did their own toy line and are huge, and they continue to do awesome like tribute figures. So like my pitch was, hey, can we get them there to talk about that, but also talk about looking forward, how much they've done for toys now, indie toys now, and where they've come, because I have a feeling there will be a lot of Masters.
They're about to have their own con now.
Yes. And just the idea that there'll be a lot of Masters of the Universe fans who remember buying toys and maybe haven't paid attention to toys, who might find it really interesting to see where toys have come, and to hear the Four Horsemen talk about that and the whole indie toy thing. That would be amazing. So,
I think we had always had the Four Horsemen in mind. That, like, notwithstanding, I mean, we owe a debt to the Four Horsemen. I mean, as you mentioned, as you alluded to. I mean, I talked about it earlier. You know, 2000X was in many ways thanks to them. You know what I mean? In terms of its overall mythos and just the style, right? The actual figures themselves that is the Four Horsemen. That is all of their work, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then, as you said earlier, it's now Classics literally was there, and this cannot be denied. Classics is the largest toy line, like complete set anyway. If you actually have every single one of them, it is the largest number of Master Universe figures ever curated, ever. Mm-hmm. It is. It's like 200. Like, what is it? Like 200 person. It's crazy. It's a crazy number. Of figures.
Out of control.
It is
for now, for sure.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. But the truth is, I'm talking about one single line of figures. Right. At least at this stage, it is the biggest collection of Master Universe figures. To date. But you know, other companies are now coming forward to do very similar work, and it's amazing, right?
Don't sleep on Masterverse, Jay. Don't sleep on Masterverse. You'd be surprised if you took a step back and looked how many. Just saying.
There's and I love the fact that
covered a lot of cool ground.
I love the fact that I love the fact that doing vintage collection. I think if they do that right, it could easily go much further. But I think it was always in the cards to at least have talks with the Four Horsemen, and they're very busy, right? Good. So we'll see what if stars align. We might have them there, but you just never know. Anything's possible, right? But that doesn't negate other toy companies. You know, I would love to see Mondo there. You know, I would love to see Mattel. I would love to see Mattel. I would like, what? This
100%. Mattel really needs to be there. They do. Yeah, I think they need to be there. Hopefully they're smart, and they are. Mondo, 100%. I don't know. Maybe some flip war action.
Yeah.
Other toy lines. It took them a while, but it hit them.
I didn't. It was a fraction of a second. I was like, did he just say something? Oh yeah. No, we were on with Hatter. When was it? It was like
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Yeah, we were last Sunday.
Almost
last Sunday we were on with Hatter, and actually it was funny because when we were on there, you could see the wheels turning in his head. He was like, wait a second, this is like.
Yeah, and we got great ideas from the
like
chat.
Halfway for me. I can do something here, and maybe we can do something. Maybe we can have something here. Maybe we can have something there.
Of course, right? He has to be there. Talk about what you guys are doing with that line. It's a love letter.
Yeah, It's a bit of it's actually more of a satire, but it is
wrapped in
exactly
love.
what it is. It's origins, right? And style. I gotta be very careful with that. It's origin style, right?
Yeah.
And we did, as with anything, right? We was tongue in cheek. It was just here's we're a little bit pissed off as collectors, and this is how we express ourselves as collectors, right? So and it just became this thing, right? And now we're hoping that that people will really continue to support it, and he's already on us wave 2, right? We're working on it. I can't talk about it, but there's a lot of things in the works right now for a lot of different.
I love it.
Just to address the chat, there's a lot of chat about toy.
Oh, wait! I was gonna say, don't worry, I got you. Let's land the plan. We're not ignoring it. So I'm gonna got you. So like again, the idea, and they're coming in as we're talking, so I don't want to interrupt, but I'm with you. So like stuff like this, right? People are joking around, but like I said, 4 Horsemen, and I was totally flippant about it. But like anybody who's been involved, it should be a celebration, and it should man, if we could imagine if we could get like when you guys were talking about Kevin Smith, if he was there, of course, some people would be upset, but that's not what this is about. MOTUNIVERSE is about celebrating all aspects of Motu. If Toy Guru, I don't know where he lives, but he worked, I know, in Southern California at some point, but that'd be kind of cool. So he's joking. He says
North Carolina now.
Okay. He says Toy Guru could have a panel on the Mighty Spector.
I think
for us to ignore.
One of the funniest things I ever heard was when we first were going around and people were mentioning, they're like, "Oh, they should do a slime pit themed dunk tank with Toy Guru or something like that." And I was like, "Wow, okay."
We do, and Jay has been really good about it. Jay, like the reality is, we do got to respect people for their contributions and everything, regardless of the thing. Like I'm not his biggest fan, but also I recognize, he did that, and he did that with the Horsemen. And there's all sorts of stuff, but love it.
I recognize that he basically kept Motu going, and I will always thank him for that. Like he started classics. He was the man, driving that whole large machine, even though it was mostly online, not retail and stuff. But I don't know, the stuff lately with the Motu's dead at retail and things like that. It's like, I don't want to hear that. No one, if we're here to celebrate, no one wants to hear that. So it's
that's true. And we could be conversations, but let's just real quick bring out the chat.
Just really quickly, one real quick note on this. We're not against having Scott. I'm just gonna put it out there. We're not against having Scott.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the reality though. Here's the reality. Okay. As Mike alluded to just now. The real problem is that there's too much noise around Toy Guru. Not necessarily Scott Knightley, but Toy Guru himself as that persona. I think there's just been too much noise around that. That channel, I'll put it that way. That channel got involved with getting too close to the sun. I think they got involved with messing around with too many things, which really did not do him any favors in the community. And I think that's really the problem. Right now, it isn't so much that we don't appreciate Scott Knightley as a person, and we don't appreciate his contribution. But
with classics was amazing.
Yes, exactly. But his channel got into some really big controversies over the past few years. And the thing is that once that starts to happen, no event is going to want to center on that, because that will be a center, right?
Sure.
To a certain degree, there will be some, there will be some attraction to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the attraction that any convention really wants to deal with on their first year, right?
I get that.
I will say this, though. I will say this, and I'll say this: if there's a movement, a drive to have people say, we want Scott Knightley there, then heck. If there's enough people saying, we want this person there, we will 100% entertain that. Here's the thing: I'm not going to say that it's going to happen or not, but I really think that most of the people who are going to say, "Oh yeah, we want him there. We want him there to tell him how we feel." that doesn't. That
No,
doesn't.
we wouldn't
That's
want
not.
that.
That's not
Not
cool
yeah,
for
yeah,
any
yeah.
guest.
Exactly.
Guests are not invited to be
That's not the
roasted.
tone we want. Again,
That's
it's
not,
about
that's not
celebration.
how it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah,
That's not how
for
that
sure.
works.
Definitely not what we want. But
No,
also,
we're
you know, so go ahead.
We are a community of people who want positivity in this
Yeah.
Correct.
right? We're not here to like. It's one thing to roast something, to make fun of something, but out of love and respect, and you know, again, I'm the first one to tell you I love the '87 movie, and I'll fight anybody on it. But I'm also the first one who's going to roast the little things about it. You know what I mean? Like I will totally do that because I love it. I love it so much.
I can't believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but just to invite somebody over to really just rag on them, that's a terrible thing.
And no one's saying that, but I will say I just love that I'm spending so much time on Scott Knightley. That's it, Toy Guru on this channel. But hey, let's talk about it. But Giraffe's right. Like LOL, he can rub some people the wrong way, but he did put up a fight to get us all that we got from Classic. 100% he did, and he spent a lot of time and energy to do that. And he said Mattel was clueless as to the property. Was nice to have a fan in the trenches, absolutely, and thankfully he also pulled in the Four Horsemen because they did a lot of work to really make that thing as great as it was. Oh, here's one. Like Blind Robot might be one of those persons who might start the campaign to be like, hey, he needs to be there because he says it's crazy not giving Toy Guru props. Pedro says thanks, Toy Guru. Yeah, and then I love this. Toy Guru was no worse than the current leadership, just the classics bios he destroyed. Again, did he destroy them? I really enjoyed them, but but yes, and then I agree with this. Let's leave that. They can have that. We don't need that here. And as Thanos says, you know, you love him, either love him or hate him, but you gotta respect a lot of what Scott
I agree.
did.
I've said that multiple times. I said that multiple.
Yeah. And then Ronald says it's cool if he's there, but we won't be having a beer. And Scott did give us this, and again, it's this is my thing where I'm trying to even it out.
Best one of all.
I mean, yes, and so did the Four Horsemen. Man, I got to sit down with last year at the Mythic Meetup. I got to sit down with Nate Barch. Who was it? Somebody else who worked on it. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. And they were just telling me stories about the development of that. And I will tell you, yes, we can say Toy Guru did this, but man, the people who actually worked on it and all the work that went into it too. And I'm still going to argue the Horsemen need to be there. So, okay, we have been going quite a bit today, which is, I know, part of the style sometimes. But hey, at the end of the day, thank you guys for sort of like being the leaders. I know you guys said, we have the power, the fans have the power, but yeah, like you all are like you guys are the sword of Eternian, like the power sword, focusing that energy. So thank you for that. We've got 20 days.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Got to keep getting the word out there. All of those, you've got 30 left of the founding members, the 30 of 100 left. That's available. What is the $60 some for the early bird tickets?
Yeah. So the VIP passes are $60 right now. That is a Kickstarter exclusive price. So we're giving you 40% off our VIP passes. Once the Kickstarter ends, they're going to go to the normal price, would be $100 for VIP.
Ooh, okay. I didn't realize it was that much of a jump. All right.
It is actually. It's actually a very and it is only available. If you want to share the screen,
yeah.
It is only available during this Kickstarter for that special Kickstarter price. Literally, as soon as the Kickstarter ends, it will revert to its $100 price. So this is something of a very high value proposition, and it actually does include a pin. Which once it goes to the regular price, it will not include a pin. Mm-hmm. So we're giving you quite the value here on the VIP packages, and
I mean, $30 a day for a VIP, and you're going to get in early on Saturday. So if any of our vendors decide to do Kickstarter, they decide to do an exclusive, you're going to have first dibs at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we do have a lot of different options, and again, this is all in thanks and recognition for people who are early adopters of us of the MOTUNIVERSE event and supporters. Right. We really want you guys to have the added value that comes with being an early adopter.
Yep. Love it.
And don't think just, like obviously we were promoting the 100 founders and like how we're going to give you recognition, this and that. Even if you just get the VIP package with us, like I promise you, anyone that participated in our Kickstarter, we're going to recognize you and give you thanks, because honestly, this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you guys. I'll speak for myself. I don't have that kind of money to just throw a con. So, when we were discussing fundraising, we felt that Kickstarter was the best way and the most, credibility behind it, I guess, right? And ways of raising funds. And, again, I'm extremely humble that we're over 12,000, almost halfway to our last stretch goal, which, I mean, really that's the goal. We just knew like, okay, well, 5,000, that way we can at least throw the con, but that final stretch goal is really where we want to be. That way we can really celebrate this the way we want to, kind of thing.
I love it. Okay, so we finished the Kickstarter. You now have your seed money to start doing a little bit more with. You got your planning. Folks should wrap their heads around this. That doesn't mean like that. This is not the only place you're getting tickets. Oops, my computer's bugging out, and I hope that is not a sign of a bad thing. I've had this happen before last time. If it does, sit tight, folks. Mega J will do his thing. He knows how to host. What is going on? Is it flipping out for you guys too?
You seem fine.
It's more than likely your internet connection just a little bit a little flutter in your internet connection. It's
okay.
That. Or if it's like it could be your computer might be overheating slightly. That happens too. So we've been going for a little bit. So, anyway, it's back.
Tron. It's Tron. It's Tron.
It's Tron.
It is Tron. He's trying to get into the system, right?
Full circle moment right there.
Okay, so I will just say as we wrap up then that people will still be able to pre-order, buy tickets and at the website and all of that. So your guys are in a really cool place. You already know. There were some folks in here who already said, I'm traveling from here, which is awesome. Keep spreading the word.
Like Oklahoma, that's amazing. Thank you. That's awesome.
Incredible.
Pacific Northwest, Central California, Toronto, Canada. But I don't know what's going on. It's going to do that. But let's close out. But really quickly, is there something upcoming, immediate? When's your next stop on the MOTUNIVERSE tour?
So tomorrow night, I believe we are going. No, not tomorrow. Monday night. Monday night, I believe we are going to be live on. I don't want to get this wrong. Give me a second. It is the. This is the problem. We're going to so many different places, and so it's been a whirlwind of different what are they called? Live streams. It's an absolutely crazy amount of different things, and we got to keep this organized, which I'm not. I have a spreadsheet.
All good.
I have a spreadsheet, and it's just all over the place. Mighty Comics and Collectibles. So we are probably on with Mighty Comics and Collectibles. I'll be joining him at around 8:30. Mike will join when he again. This is the thing, right? So
I'll be at work.
Mike will be at work, and he will join as soon as he arrives.
This is how dedicated I am. I'm going on my lunch. I'm going on my. I'm off work at 5. So I'm gonna zoom down here and try to hop on right after work.
Yeah. So that'll be 8:30 my time, but it'll be 5:30 Mike's time. So by the time he gets home at 6 is when we're probably gonna do that. And this is a pre-record, so that's why it's not so bad. People will be able to see that. People will be able to see that later at some point. Then we're going to be on with Between Two Sentinels on Tuesday.
Oh, sweet! So not their normal Wednesdays, but you'll be with Machu and Jay Shot on Tuesday. Okay, cool.
I believe it's Tuesday. Just let me double check. I think it's Tuesday. It's the 20. Sorry, no, it is the 29th. My apologies. When is the 29th? Does anybody know?
Okay, that is this week. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Tuesday.
I'm trying to look at all these different ones.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? It's one of those two. They're actually going to be on with games.
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Okay, so it is Wednesday. They're going to be on with games.
Keep track
GAMS. They're going to be on with GAMS, and we will probably join them a little bit during the middle of the stream. and just talk about MOTUNIVERSE and what we're doing with that. So yeah, and then it just keeps continuing. This we're going to keep going, and we're going to be talking to so many different groups. We're trying our best to just keep the excitement going, and a lot of people aware of the project, because that's really the name of the game at this point. It's just awareness, getting people to understand that we are putting this thing on, and we need support, and like I said, it has been humbling, and just so much just a whirlwind of things that have been happening. I mean, 12,000, almost halfway towards our $25,000 goal, 90 backers, 20 days to go. It's been an incredible journey, and it continues. And we want to thank everybody out there for all the support.
Super out sponsored table. I should reach out to them.
I was trying not to bring that one up. I don't know what your situation with legal is, but yeah, that's hilarious. Hey, is it tripping out on you? Luckily I looked at YouTube and it looks like it's normal.
No, you're fine.
No, you'll
stutter a little bit, but you're fine. It's okay. It's coming through fine.
You get the black wheel of death there where it spins and everyone, all the screens go black. It happens on my side quite a bit.
I'm going to shoot the video of it and I'll send it to you guys after. But anyways, okay, cool. And there was a question. Are you there?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, I can't see anything right now, but there was a question there about the Kickstarter and the website. And did I say that right? That they will be on the website, and there'll be other ways to pre-order, I'm assuming, later.
Yeah,
right?
So our website's going to go through a whole revamp once the Kickstarter's done. Cool. You'll be able to order general admission, just regular tickets, as well as the VIP tickets. But those, again, like I said, will be $100, not $60. We'll also still have the T-shirt up for sale. We hope to have Tony Washington's print for sale on there. You'll be able to pick up at the con as well. There's a lot of different stuff. Yeah, we have planned for be able to purchase through the website.
Very cool. Okay. All right, folks. Well, it sounds like there's a couple different places where you can hear more about MOTUNIVERSE. They, especially the live ones, will probably do a much better job than I did about keeping up with the chat. Definitely do.
All right.
Between two Sentinels.
Guys, for anybody who's watching on Mega J Retro, please subscribe to Brick Something. He's doing amazing dives on Eternian and everything that is going on with toys and nothing is needless. We need these. This is stuff. It's essential to our lives. We need an escape. We need to reconnect with toys and everything. And if you want a really cool MTV style intro, you got to come see the Brick Something.
I mean, your intro is probably one of my favorites, Rick. Yours and Kenzo.
Nice.
Got that nostalgic intro going on.
Yeah. So guys, please, if you're watching Mega J Retro, head over to Break Something. Subscribe to the man. He's doing some great work, and we really love this guy.
I appreciate that, Jay. All right, Jay, Mike, MOTUNIVERSE, definitely. Thank you for coming by, and thank you for doing this, because I'm excited to head down in May and hang out with you all and talk Motu and live Motu and breathe Motu. So, all right, folks, that's it. Go check out Mega J. You probably already are, because he's simul streaming it. That's where all the action is for real. And then head over to Eternian Royalty. Sometimes some YouTube stuff, but also on IG, very active over there. And send your ideas through the website, folks. There's a lot for us to do. A lot of great potential with MOTUNIVERSE. So let's make it happen. Because what is it? The fans
have
the power.
There it is. All right, folks. Have a great time. I'm not going to end with the music because I don't think I can do it. I think my computer's about to die. Goodbye, folks.
Good journey, everybody.
Between Tron, Sark, Scott, I don't know. Something's going on. I love you guys.
Someone's doing something.
Thank you, Brick.
Love it.
See
Good journey, everybody. Bye.
Now he just left and it's still going. Oh man.
And
we're waving.
Well, guys, let's talk about Tron again.
I was gonna say, I think something happened because he can't get the live stream.
I think we're kind of stuck here. So how about those Blue Jays? I mean, they're
back to
one to one tie right now.
Oh, I was gonna say, what's the score?
This 1-1 right now. It's where's Kenny? We can do a live broadcasting right.
We have literally took over Brick's live stream.
This is gonna be great. We're gonna talk about sports. Like, we're gonna Brick is gonna get so upset. Like this is gonna be a sports thing. Wow, Dave, good to see you, brother. Giraffe, this isn't awkward at all.
We should have just kept waving the entire time.
We can keep waving and keep waving and keep waving.
Like, okay, is it ever gonna end? Is it ever gonna?
Brick's trying to tell us something here.
Oh, he's back.
Here he comes. We're still live, Brick. We're still.
You're
live.
muted. You're muted.
You're muted, Brick. Brick, we're still live.
There he is.
No, we're still going. You gotta.
You're still here.
This is like Ferris Bueller, guys. What are you doing? Go home.
Go home.
It's over.
Guys.
We're done.
We're done. We're finished.
Bye.
Blue Jays 1-1.
We'll keep waving.